Dzień dobry. Är du svensk? Ja, jag är svensk. There you go. Talking about an all-girl streamer house. Yes. Okay, so I don't know where I left off, but yeah, so I was looking at houses just randomly, and houses are, I feel like I'm being very loud. Am I being very loud, chat? I can like quiet down a bit if you want me to. Sorry. Yes or no? Because I will like calm down if it's too loud. I don't like this lighting. Ooh. Nope. There we go. I think that's good. I have LED lights that I like to play with. Anyway. Yes, actually, this is really funny that you brought that up, Aunt, because the initial idea was 4 girls and Aphrodite, so 4 girls and a gay guy. We figured, well, he's essentially one of us, so, because he's that cool. Anyway, so that was the initial idea, and so I wrote a tweet. Kaylee wrote a tweet on Twitter that we're looking for roommates to live with us in this house, and we had found a house actually already that was like very nice. Okay, it was in a nice neighborhood. This house was not, however, $2,000 to $3,000. I think this house was way beyond that. I believe it was maybe $5,000.
Like $6,000.
No, it wasn't that house, Zach. It was another house. This house was like $5,000, and this is because we wanted a pool at our house. Okay, we were like, we're not getting a house without a pool. I think we all had agreed that we wanted a pool for the house, and the 2 houses that we had looked at was one for $3,000, but that house didn't have a room that would fit Aunt properly. It was very small, so we looked at the $5,000 house. That house was perfect. Okay, if you guys had seen the backyard of that house, like they had a slide into the pool. They had like a fire pit. They had like a whole bar station, a grill, like a whole sunshade thing, like a whole jacuzzi on top of the pool and a hot tub. They had a fucking shower outside, you guys. A shower, like a big shower station that you could shower. I was like, I'm gonna fuck Zach so hard in that shower outside in public. Not really, but the thought went through my brain, okay? The thought went through my brain, and I was like, this is lit, okay? This is the house to be. And everybody agreed. We were like, yep, this is the house. So we're like, we tell our realtor that we had hired, and getting a realtor in Austin to look for houses is free. The house owner pays the money for the realtor. Yes and no. So I need to take a break for like, just breathe for a moment. Yeah, anyway, so we were like, we need this house. Like, this is the house. Because Kaylee went back home. I went back home to California, and I was like, we need this house. Okay, there's no second option. We're not getting any other house. This is the one. So we go back home, and we're trying to look at applicants. Like, that's when, after we went back home, we started looking for applicants for the house. We had a couple of people in mind. It was going to be me, Kaylee, Tiffany, JC, Aphrodite. That was it. That was the 5 people that we wanted in the house. So we wanted 5 people for the house. But we were like, the rent is $5,000. We wanted to split the rent between more people. So we looked at other candidates, and a lot of them, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, like most of them did not make enough money to pay for the house. Our minimum requirement was $2,000 per month, which is not that high, in my opinion, and a lot of the people that applied did not make that much. So we were like, damn, what the hell are we gonna do? Like, this is such a beautiful house. We need this house, right? So I'm like, okay, we can figure this out. And Kaylee brought up the idea of having Mitch and Ethan move in. And Ethan is Mitch's longtime friend since they were young. You know, he vouched for him, and I didn't know Ethan, but he was in a lot of our meetings that we had before we moved into the house. And he seemed like a really cool guy. He seemed very responsible because he showed up to pretty much every meeting that we had. So I was like, yeah, okay, this guy's cool. And Kaylee, like, hardcore vouched for Mitch, because I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that every single person in that group besides Ethan had an issue with Mitch moving in. Like, not necessarily. It was more of a concern for what could happen, right? And even I had a concern. It was like, this guy pisses in fucking bottles, y'all. Like, and I'm not exaggerating again when I tell you that Ant freaked the fuck out. Like, he freaked the fuck out. And you can confirm this, Ant, okay? He freaked the fuck out when he heard that Mitch Jones was gonna move into the fucking house. He was like, no, I am not moving into that fucking house. That's gonna be a goddamn shit show. He did a reading on it, everything. He's like, this is bound to end up bad. So he's like, I am out. I'm not moving into this house. We had a bit of an argument, him, me, and Kaylee. Of course, we sorted it. No worries. We're friends now. It's all good. But it was a shit show. Yeah, so he was out. So Ant was out. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, at that point, we brought in Tiff after that, because Tiff was like our backup choice, because we had already had 5 people before then. And that was when we had Tiff instead of Aphrodite. He was like the backup choice. So then we brought Tiff on board, and we applied for the house. It was going to be 6 of us, I believe. I don't know if this is when Destin... No, so there were 6 of us that was going to live in the house, right? In that beautiful house with the shower outside. And this is not our house that we have now, okay? So just keep that in mind. This was a different house. Way better than the house we have now, okay? Like, I'm telling you guys, that backyard was gorgeous, okay? Our backyard is, like, mediocre, right? Like, you guys have probably seen our backyard. It's mediocre at best. It's not great. But, yeah, so that was that house, and we applied for it. We went through the process, and we got rejected, right? They were like, we don't want several people in their 20s moving into our house. Because that was a gated community, and there were beautiful homes in the area. And the house was beautiful as well. So they were like, we don't want you guys to move into the house. And we had gone through the application process, right? And everybody had used their credit. So our credit went down from that. Like, I don't think my credit dropped much. It was like maybe 10 points. But for some of us, there was a couple of, I think Jay dropped like maybe 30 points in her credit score, which is bad. They sold the house. I have messages. They never said that. The previous ones for the past house, we applied for that house, Mitch. I have the applications for the house, so you're not listening. We applied for that house and we were rejected. I don't know exactly what the reasoning was behind it, but they told us that they didn't want us to move in because they rejected our application, right? So that was that house. And so we were like, fuck, that was like the house we wanted, right? We had put everything into the house. We did not have a backup house in place. We're like, God damn it. So then me and Kaylee start looking for other houses in Austin. And obviously, like, Kaylee had come to Austin with me to look at these houses with Jay in person. And I was like, damn, we spent so much money to go to Austin. We have to go back to look for houses, because we obviously wanted to see the houses in person. But, yeah, we didn't do that. So, so we looked at other houses as well, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there weren't that many selections from what we saw. I'm sure maybe there's different selections now, but back when we looked at it, there wasn't much to go off of. The house that we had looked at with the other pool was like $3,000. They weren't on the market anymore. There was another beautiful house for $4,000 that had already sold, even though the ad was still up, and we were kind of disappointed in that. So there was our house on the market, right? And we didn't like our previous realtor that we were working with. There was a lot of issues with her, but I'm not going to get into that because I feel like that's besides the point. So we contacted one of the realtors that Katie recommended, because Katie, aka Fandy, had just gotten her own house, and she was like, he's the best, he did such a good job. So we hired him, and I will say he did a very, very good job finding us a house, right? And he even went as far as going to this house that we're currently staying at to look at it and FaceTime Kaylee every room, right? He went around the house. He talked to the realtor of the house, because in Texas or most states, the house owners usually have a realtor, and then the people looking for a house usually have a realtor, right? So 2 realtors. And we thought it was a nice house. It was not as nice as the first one that we had applied to, but we were like, okay, we can make this work. It's okay. It's fine. And there was actually 7 rooms in the house, and the rent was over $6,000. So we're like, okay, this is a nice house, but it's not $5,000 like the other house. We need another person. So Kaylee got in touch with Dustin, aka D-Kane, who was interested in moving out of his parents' house. And we had to talk to him. We discussed the details of the house. We showed him what the house was going to be. He was very interested. So we were like, okay, let's apply for this house. And the thing is, we didn't physically go look at the house, right? We didn't know anything about the neighborhood or anything like that. We were just like taking a chance on this house. We didn't know any HOA stuff or like what neighborhood we were moving into, but we knew the house was really, really nice. And so we figured, or at least I don't know what the other people, I can only speak for myself, but I figured this is probably going to be a nice area too, right? Because it was gated, and most communities that are gated are rich neighborhoods, right? It makes sense, duh. So we got Dustin on board, and the thing is, we put 5 people on our application, and there's many reasons why we only put 5. One of which, I don't know if I should be saying this on stream. I'm going to try to make it as nice as possible, but Dustin and Ethan were not making enough money at the time. But we really, really liked Dustin. Like, we were like, this guy is perfect for the house. And Ethan is Mitch's friend. So we were like, yeah, okay, we're just not going to put them on the application because we may get rejected if they're not on it. Or if they are on it and the house owner sees that they're not making enough money, we could be rejected, right? So I hope they're okay with me saying that. I'm sure Dustin would be, but yeah, so we did that and we applied. Actually, there's a lot, I mean, honestly, there's like so many details that have just never been like revealed before, because I just feel like it wasn't really worth it. Sorry if I'm getting like really nervous because I'm trying to like get everything perfectly like how it was. I am so nervous because I don't want to say anything wrong. I don't want to offend anybody or start shit because like all the stuff that's been happening is just like, it's not good, right? So I'm trying to like really make sure that I'm saying everything properly and not pissing anybody off, right? So if I'm saying something that is not accurate, let me know. You see me? I was trying to find my CBD pen earlier. I could not find it. So I'm just like really anxious right now, just so you guys know. Anyway, so we applied for the house and Ken really vouched for us. That was our realtor. He was so good with like making sure that we were all gonna be able to get this house because he talked to the house owner several times. We were like, we already got rejected. We don't want to get rejected again, waste all this money because applications in Texas are expensive. We paid $360 on our first application to the first house and got rejected. So we're like, if we're gonna spend almost $3,000, it was cheaper for the second, or $300, I mean, for the second house. We want to make sure that we can get it because if we don't get the second house, we're down like almost $600, like combined, right? And yeah, it was like $80 per application for the first house and then $60 for the second house, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was like that. So yeah, so I was like, talk to them, make sure that they're okay, and vouch for us. So Ken went to the house owner and told them, they're just, this, I'm paraphrasing what he said. Like, Kaylee can call him on the phone and ask him exactly what he said. Okay, I'm doing my very best to get everything right because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation. I didn't want any of this stuff to be out there. I feel like we shouldn't have, no one should have ever talked about the situation at all, like turned it into this, because this is what people want. They wanted drama. They were waiting by the phone to see what was going to happen with this house, right? So I'm just trying to go out there and just say everything so that there's no, like, there can be no misinterpretation of what happened, right? And I'm not trying to make anybody look bad because that's already happened, right? I mean, this whole thing was just so unnecessary. Like, nothing needed to happen. So, okay. Ken went to the house owner and was like, these people are gamers, alright? They're like big nerds that just sit inside their rooms and play video games all day. And he really went out of his way to like vouch for us to the house owner, and she was okay with it. She was like, alright, I'm okay with that. They can apply. And they were actually expecting our application because we took a long time to apply since Kaylee was at a convention for like a week. So when she came back home, we all sat down and applied. I made sure that we were still eligible for the house because we were worried somebody else was going to apply. But yeah, we all applied and we waited and we waited and we waited. I think we waited maybe almost 2 weeks. They had to do background checks on us. And then the house owner had to review the application with the background check and then give us her decision. So we waited for almost 2 weeks. And then I wrote in the group chat, because we had a group chat together, we still do. I was like, we didn't get this house. Like, there's no way. They haven't responded for 2 weeks. There's no way we got this house. We got rejected again. Over $600 spent. Like, fuck, man. You know, all these months. Like, at this point, it was, what month was it? It was like April, okay? I'd started this whole thing with Kaylee back in January, and by that time that we got approved, it was April, so it'd been a while, right? And Kenan messaged me and he said, you got approved. And I was so excited. I copy pasted what he wrote in the group chat. Kaylee literally called me 30 seconds later and was screaming on the phone. She was so excited. We were all so excited for this house. We were like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be the best time ever. And we're like, okay, let's have a house meeting. Let's try to sort this out, because the house owner was asking, when are you guys moving in, right? So we're like, fuck, it's already like almost May. Like, this was in the middle of April, so I was like, okay, we can move in next week. But obviously that was like, we're gonna move in next week. Actually, it was like the beginning of April. It wasn't like towards the end. It was like more towards the middle. It's like April 10th maybe. So we're like, okay, we can move in next week. But then everyone was like, nah, that's not, we can't do that. That's way too soon. It's like Tiff had to end her lease. Like, there's just a ton of things. Should I just turn off my music? Like, are you okay with my music being on, or should I turn off the music? Yes or no? Tell me, chat. Let's get a majority vote, right? Okay.
Let's just turn it down a little.
It's like really low though. Also, my alerts are quite loud too, so let me actually turn down the I'm gonna turn off the music, okay? And I'm also gonna turn off the alerts, because I feel like it's unfair for me to tell the story and then just like stop in the middle and talk about a donation, right? I think that's fair for everybody that's here to just turn them off for the stream. So I'm gonna do that right now. 1 second. Wait, oops, no, I just tested it instead. Okay. Alright, I just turned off. I should just put a thing on my stream actually. Hold on, let me do that real quick. Where do I text? Text, okay. Alright. Where's a good place to put this? Here?
Yeah.
Alright, right there. Okay. So, where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. Right, so we had a house meeting, and throughout the time that we had meetings, or not how, it was more like a Discord server meeting with all the other people, right? We had a lot of conversations pretty much once a week about what we had, like, what kind of expectations everyone had for the house, right? And Mitch was there a couple, like, sometimes for maybe a few minutes. Like, there was one time we really asked him to be there for the whole meeting, and he did stay. So I give him props for that. But I do wish that Mitch had been more present in the meeting, because I don't think that he really understood what the expectations were for the house. So I will say that about the meetings before we moved into the house. This was before, right? We had this like for months. And the expectations for the house was that we're gonna have a good time. And I'm down, like, I really, really hate that people are calling me like this party pooper all the time, that I'm just yelling at everybody to shut up every day. Because what you see on stream, like maybe once, is not necessarily true for like the entire time that we were at the house. I will say that I did tell them to stop being loud at night, because we were in trouble with the HOA, like from day one, right? And
Day two.
Yeah, day two. Right. I was like, I really want us to stay in this house, and I want to give some backstory to that. Why I tried so hard is because my ex-boyfriend is a realtor. So I have first-hand experience with dealing with this stuff, because he had to evict several people. I know kind of the idea of like the city codes, like the single family home. I knew exactly what that's about. There's just a lot of things that I knew about this stuff, right? So I was like very on top of like keeping the house clean and like making sure that they weren't disturbing neighbors.
I was flipping it around.
Can I show them what this is, by the way? What happened?
I was doing like this, right? I was doing a little bit
Did
like.
you
Woo.
smack yourself in the
And
face?
I was like, wow, it hit me in the face.
Good.
What?
Good. That's what you get. That's what you get. Yo, can you guys guess what this is real quick? Everybody? You guys want to guess? You guys probably know what this is, but like, what kind do you think? What kind of poster do you guys think this is, just by looking at it? Do you see it now? You see it now?
We like Fortnite.
So, me and Zach went to Walmart the other day,
Yep.
and we found this poster just going through the poster selection that they had. And it's right there! Ninja! I was like, I cannot give up this opportunity to support my favorite streamer,
We will.
Ninja. So I was like, yes, I'm buying this right now.
I'm gonna throw that shit away. Yeah.
I'm gonna stick it up your ass. I'm just kidding, guys. No worries. You're not throwing this poster away.
Yeah? Yeah?
No.
Let's see about that. I'm gonna scratch that out, put Asmongold on there.
You know what? I would be okay if you took a white pen and you wrote "and Asmongold" under Ninja.
Okay.
I would be okay with that.
Alright, that's acceptable.
Okay, good. Alright, so we got that settled. That's out of the way. Where did I leave off? I swear to God, I forget what I'm talking about, like, every 2 seconds. What was
About how you were a party pooper and you hated it when other people in the house had fun.
Okay, so I was like the mom of the house, okay? I think everybody in the house, if I asked them, they could give me a sense of respect. Even Kaylee, to admit that I was the mom of the house, okay? I was in charge of like keeping this shit together, right? And it was hard. Like, when I say it was hard, this was harder than taking care of children in like pre-kindergarten, okay? Like, we're talking like 6-month-old babies. It was hard. It really was. And I'm not saying that to be a bitch, but I'm saying that because it was very difficult for me to make sure that stuff was, you know, livable.
As a way to kind of make that more of a thing, whenever me, S Fund, Rich, and Stay Safe tried to make a house, fuck, dude, we couldn't even get that shit off the ground.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, it's hard because everybody there was stupid. No, it's not it at all. It's just really hard to get people that have like different schedules and all this different shit going on
and
to
it's
do
not
the same
it's
thing.
not just like keeping the house clean or like not staying up late. It's a lot more than that. I want to say that, like, it's hard to organize things with the group. Like, some people in the house were trying to get sponsorships. Like, it was just a lot of things that needed to be done. Like, we needed to find furniture. Like, it was a whole list of things, right? It's a lot of work and dedication from, I think, everybody in the house, right? Not just me. And, you know, I have gone out with the house several times. We've gone down to 6th Street multiple times since I got to the house. I've been in the pool, I've been in the hot tub, I've partied, and I've stayed up late in the house. So whenever people say that, like, I have just not been involved whatsoever, it's because I just don't like being on stream whenever they're walking around the house and we're not doing anything. Because, like, I'm sitting around in my sweater, like, my sweatpants, my hair is a mess, I have no makeup on, I look like shit, right? And I'm just like, they're gonna call me a fucking crackhead if I go on the stream. Like, I do not want to be a part of that. I want to look my best when I stream. That's just me. So I wanted to, like, not be involved in that. And I've been on the stream a couple of times when they've done things, but for most part, I was just like, not my scene. So God, there's like so much. What was I talking about? I forgot again. Guys, I'm just really bad at this, okay? Yeah, so I will say I wasn't a part of like every single time they stayed up, because it was all the time that they stayed up, right? I was a part of it every now and then, like mostly on weekends, right? But I am not exaggerating when I tell you that they were up every night. Sometimes I'd yell at them and they wouldn't stay up, right? And they were calm. There were times in the house where everything was great. I was like, okay, we're going out on the weekends, like we're doing stuff together as a group and everyone's doing great. No one's leaving trash and poop and whatever else that they're doing in the house. It was amazing. Like whenever there were good times in the house, it was amazing. Like I was like so happy. That's exactly what I wanted for the house. And whenever it wasn't, it was really disappointing because I just wanted it to work out. You know, I really did. And it just sucks that this happened, right? Because a lot of us had different ideas of what the house was supposed to be after we moved in. I think everyone agreed on how we wanted it before, but then all of that just like changed once everyone moved into the house. And so I just kind of was really sad at the house, and everybody knows that I was miserable. Like, let's be honest, everybody knows that I was miserable in the house. Like half of the time I was just at Zach's house or at other friends' houses, right? So it's not a surprise that I was miserable at the house. And whenever I'm miserable, I do not want to stream, right? I've taken a couple of days after the drama and I've just not streamed. I've just distanced myself. I've tried really hard to not go on social media. I'm just not in a good mood, you know? And I do not want to stream when I'm in a bad mood, because then I'm just going to fuck it up, you know? Like, I'm just going to say something fucking stupid. So, the reason I haven't streamed is mainly because I was just having a bad time. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I streamed way more before I moved into the house. I think I stopped streaming consistently after I moved into the house. What is that?
Cookie.
You didn't bring me one? Oh, a fly literally just landed on it.
That means it's going to taste better. It's got protein on it now.
Can I have some water? Can you give me water? Why am I? Yeah. He's the best.
I know.
Honestly, I just want to give a big shout out to Zach for dealing with all my dumb shit for the past couple of days. Like, I've been...
Did you say days or years?
Are you gonna stop exposing me, Zach? Like, I swear to God. Low-key, like... I'm surprised he's still with me at this point. Because I'm very emotional, okay, chat? Like, I'm not malicious, but I'm very emotional. So, whenever I get upset about something, I raise my voice, right? This is bad. I'm working on it, okay? I try. Have I gotten better?
Yeah.
I hope you mean that and you're not just saying that for stream, because I feel like I've gotten better, but yeah. Okay. Where did I leave off? Yeah, so, I mean, there's documented proof that I've been out with the house and I've been downtown. And so I love to go out and dance, you guys, okay? I really do. When Tricky and Fawn were in town, I fucking love Tricky and Fawn. Like, they are so fucking cool. I like them so much. Every time we've gone out, I've been dancing, we've been going to the gay club, partying it up, drinking, whatever. It's been great. So I love doing that. But not every day of the week, okay? Typically, do it maybe twice a week, and then I'm pooped after that. Actually, you know what? Sometimes I can do it 3 times. I've gone out to the bar with the house several times as well, so it's not like I just like completely distance myself. And there's another person in the house, and I'm gonna try my best during the stream not to name names, because I feel like I've been put in a position where I am like targeted. That's just how I've felt, and I'm not gonna lie about it. Like I've felt like I've been targeted, and everybody else in the house has just like not been mentioned whatsoever. So I just want to do my best to like not name names, because I just don't think it's worth it. So there is another person in the house, and I'm not kidding you when I tell you that as soon as that person moved into the house, they did not want to be involved in this stuff at all. They were not having it. They were not having it. They were not having it so much to the point where they told me that they wanted to move out immediately. And
remember the night they came to move in?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell them that story?
Don't say it. No. If that person wants to speak about it openly, they can. But I'm not going to go into that, because I don't think it's fair to just talk about that. That's not the focus of the stream. And there have been other times where another person as well have expressed to me that they wanted to move out. So there are 3 people in the house. I mean, I think everybody knows at this point, but if they want to talk about it, they can talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it on my stream. So I feel like the house was really split from the very beginning, and I had a feeling like it was going to be a problem, because we had all signed a lease together. We had paid a lot of money to get there already, and it would be a waste of time to just move out immediately as soon as we moved in, right? And I also expressed to the group I wanted to move out pretty much after the 4 a.m. incident. I was pissed about that, because I had no idea Mitch was yelling, and I just exposed the fuck out of myself on that stream. Like, it was so embarrassing. Like, I should have never had done that, and I felt so fucking stupid after that stream. Like, I felt so stupid. I was like, why the fuck did I do that? Like, guys, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I was laying in my bed fucking sleeping, because I had gone out that same night, okay? Just making sure you guys know. I was out with the group that very night to 6th Street, okay? We were partying it. I just decided to go home earlier and go to bed. So they bust through the fucking door. I'm just like, I am not having it, because they had been doing that pretty much since we moved in. And it hasn't been on stream, guys. Just because they're not streaming going out doesn't mean that they're not going out, okay? Just making sure you guys know that. That is not the case. They were going out every night. And I have no problem with people going out, but it's inconsiderate for the house when other people are trying to sleep, when it's every single night. If it's like a mutual thing during the weekends, fine, that's okay. I had no problem with that. But if it's every night, it becomes a problem. And anybody that says it's because it's a streamer house, no, that doesn't mean that it's a party everyday house, okay? There are so many streamer houses out there that do not have this problem. I've lived in a dorm room before. I've lived with other roommates before in 2 different houses, and I never had these types of problems. We had other problems, but not like this. And you guys could, like, I mean, there's so many streamer houses out there that don't have this problem, okay? So I think it's a little...
the thing with, like, a streamer house, right, is that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in the house wants to be on stream all the time. I think that there's a lot of instances of, people in different professions that want, especially whenever streaming is kind of an isolating job, right? You're doing it by yourself. You're in your own room in your own house, and you don't really get a lot of opportunities to go out and see other people, especially people that do the same thing that you do. So the idea of having a camaraderie, of living with other people that share the similar struggles and, you know, enjoyments and things that you do is compelling in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be on camera all the time or they want to do IRL all the time. I think a lot of people, you know, just because you're a streamer doesn't mean you want to do IRL streaming, for example. And, you know, I think that kind of goes back to what Izzy was saying earlier about people, you know, having like different expectations going into the house, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, to add to that, we had several house meetings at the house, and I wanna be, what's the word? Clear that it was everyone's idea, and it wasn't just my idea to have streamer house and have rules and have agreements in the house. Transparent. That's a good word. I like that. Thanks, Jat. But everyone had agreed to do this, and I don't know if certain people in the house were just saying that they were agreeing, but I think that I would have deserved a lot more truth in that matter if that is the case, because I literally said after the 4 a.m. incident that I wanted to move out, and this was like the first month of the house, right? I was like, at that point, Emiya had been coming over to the house a lot. They've been hanging out with her pretty much every night, which I don't have a problem with Emiya. I really don't. There was some drama that happened with her. People in the house didn't like her, then they liked her the next day. I wasn't really involved with that. I didn't really hang out with her as much as everyone else. But I was like, why doesn't Emma just move in instead of me? Right? That was my idea. I was like, she can move in, I can move in somewhere else, and you guys can have a good time together. I brought that up to the group, and they were like, no, we want you to stay. So we had a meeting about it, and I expressed that I don't want them to stay up every night because HOA, I leaked the letters, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I fucked up, okay? I fucked up several times after moving out. Or moving into the house, I mean. I shouldn't have yelled at 4 a.m. in the morning. I shouldn't have leaked the letters with the address. I don't know if everybody forgot, but I still live at the house. It's my house too, and I should have been more careful with leaking the address. That was a mistake. I should have made sure that wasn't in there. So yeah, I fucked up, okay? But since a lot of you guys have read those letters, you know that the address on top of other things were already out there, right? The HOA, somebody contacted the HOA pretty much after the
second or third day.
Pretty much after my birthday, okay? I wanted a chill birthday. I'd asked the group specifically to just chill. And I want you guys to understand that when someone accuses another streamer of doing this, it's wrong. Because we don't know who did this. And I don't want you guys to speculate about anybody, because that's not okay. Alright? I know for a fact that the person who people are accusing did not do this. Okay? So I just want that to be clear. And let's move on from that, okay? There's been a lot of accusations, a lot of pointing fingers in the house.
Can I
no, wait. I just don't think it's fair to point a finger at one person. So.
Can I tell a story about your birthday?
Mm-hmm.
So we go to get her a cake. She wants a cheesecake. We put on the cake, "Happy Birthday, Izzy." So we drive back to the house, and this is the second day. and I think this is just me driving back.
Yeah, May 2nd is my birthday, guys.
Yeah,
okay, I didn't.
She moves here. On
I didn't
May 1st.
want my birthday to be the day after moving out. I hated that was the case, but I can't help when my birthday is. Okay, so just make sure.
So the cheesecake. So I'm even driving there and driving back. I forgot which one. And there was this lady that was going in there, and for whatever reason, I drove around her, and she gave me the meanest, nastiest, like, just fucking disgusted look that I have ever seen anybody give another individual in my life. She was not happy about the fact that I existed. So I parked the car on
This was May 1st. Like, this was
It could have been
literally
the second. I honestly fucking don't remember.
This was literally the first day.
It was like one of the first few days,
this was
right?
literally the first
And
day.
it's not like, and it's not like we have even been there long enough for them to have developed any sort of a opinion about us, right? Unless
we had
she really just hates
trucks in the
unless
driveway.
she just really hates Mustangs, there is no reason for her to dislike me.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I drive over there and I park the car on the outside of, like, the curb. Well, apparently in the HOA rules, the 8,000 rules, one of them apparently is don't park your car outside the curb. And these people are so fucking anal that they actually complained about it for one day.
Yeah.
So they were on top of that. And Izzy, like, to further interpret, Izzy did want a chill birthday. Like, she didn't want us to sing her happy birthday. Now, don't worry about it, guys. I did it anyway, and I embarrassed her. But, it wasn't exactly something that she wanted to. She just wanted to have a chill birthday, and, probably had a lot of people there, etc.,
We
etc.,
just
etc.
moved there. I was
Yeah,
exhausted.
we had just moved there.
I was down to have a birthday, like, party
Yeah.
or whatever, but I just didn't want to do anything crazy because we had just moved in the day before, so.
Right. So that, all this shit happens, and we find out that there was somebody, we don't know who this person is, we do not know who this person is, who called the HOA. This is like the second or...
No, they emailed.
They emailed the HOA, and they were like...
Ho's mad!
Well, we don't...
HOA, Ho's mad.
That's actually good, yeah. I like
That's
that.
so good!
Yeah, okay, alright, yeah. So, true as well. And so they
Ho's,
email...
Do you guys get it?
Yeah,
Okay,
they email HOA and they say, listen, these motherfuckers, boy, are you in for a treat.
Yeah.
And, they went in, obviously, and they because it was very clear that they actually had an understanding of who all was in the house because they listed, specific people's names and then also things that they had done in the past.
Zach,
and
we
I just want to make sure that all this is chronologically
are you talking about the email that they sent in?
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a chill birthday, right? And I invited some of my close friends, and I was fine with them inviting their close friends too, but I just simply didn't want a party, right? And it just kind of slowly turned into a party over the night. I'm not talking like crazy 50, 100 people, but I'm talking like 30, maybe 40 people there. And so I went upstairs and I wanted to just chill because it was too much for me. Like, I just didn't want to do that. And I felt it was really disappointing because I wanted to try to, like, watch a movie and eat good food with everybody, but it just wasn't working that way. It may not even have been 40. Like, I didn't really stay down there, but there's definitely about 30 people in the house at that time. It's not like I went down there and counted myself, but there was definitely a lot of people in the house. And so I went to bed, and I think people stayed up for a while, but it wasn't crazy. Like, I know that they stayed up till like maybe 3 or 4 a.m. I don't know. I didn't really care. It was like the first day. I didn't give a fuck if they stayed up. It was like, whatever. What am I gonna yell at them the first day we moved in? It's like, no, of course not. So we all go to sleep, and the next morning, I don't know if it was Mitch or Kaylee who sent this in the group chat. I think it was Kaylee, because she had been in touch with the landlord of the house and the homeowner, and they told us that HOA was on our ass. They were like, yo, we got this email, we're so fucked right now. So we all had like a little meeting about it in the morning, or it wasn't morning, it was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. PM, I mean, that. So So we had a meeting and we read the email and we're like, fuck, this is bad. We had discussed moving in and like going around the neighborhood and giving gift baskets to our neighbors. We're like, we want to be really respectful because this is a rich as fuck neighborhood and we want to stay here, right? So that was the plan. But we're like, fuck that. They're not getting our gift baskets. Like, they're on our ass day one. Like, I was pissed about it. Everybody else was pissed about it, okay? And I told them, okay, we need to keep, like, the house parties down to a minimum and be a little more respectful, right, of the neighbors. So we decided not to, like, party for the next couple of days at the house. We all kind of went out to 6th Street the day after that, and everybody started streaming, and, you know, like, if you watch any of the earlier streams, it was very much Streamlit related. Like, there was a lot of, like, pool streams, and we had a barbecue stream, and we started watching Game of Thrones, and just a ton of things, right? So that was that, and we were hoping that nothing was going to come out of this HOA thing, and that they were just, like, on our ass about it, but they were going to give up. And I will be honest, we didn't really hear much about it until later. But I also will say that looking at the emails myself, the house owner was concerned. And so was the realtor. Because they were like, do we need to kick these people out? I don't know. I'm just speculating. So anyway, we didn't really hear from them for a while. And I was like, okay, I think we're in the clear. I feel like they aren't going to bother us for a while. So we just continue, and things start getting pretty bad after that. Because we had taken like a week or two just like keeping stuff down, going out to party on weekends, and like just being like, it was honestly like one of the best times I've ever had. Just like really having a great time at the house after that. And we kind of figured, okay, they haven't messaged us, so we're probably in the clear, right? And I feel like that's why some people in the house started doing stuff like that again, because we hadn't heard anything from HOA. The house owner and the realtor hadn't talked to us again, so they probably thought that we were okay, like nothing was happening, right? So they started partying a lot, coming home late, staying home late. We would have house meeting after house meeting after house meeting, talking about how dirty the house was, talking about all these other issues we had in the house, like trying to figure out when our laundry days are. Like, we had a whiteboard with like stuff that we needed to do, like get done, right? On top of like the partying. I think honestly the two things that were the biggest concerns in the house was how dirty it was and how late everyone was up, and also how many people were staying over and partying. So a lot of people were staying over at the house, just like random people I didn't really know. I know Kaylee had an issue with that as well. It was a lot, and I feel like a lot of the people in the group are not the confrontational type, and so they didn't want to tell them to leave, which I get it, right? No one wants to be the bad guy. Like, literally nobody in the house wanted to be the bad guy, and that usually meant that I had to be the bad guy, because who else would be the bad guy, like, besides me, right? And I was like, okay, I'm alright with that, because I wanted to stay in the house. I really just did, because I had a good time there. And I think a lot of the times that I told them to, like, keep it down was because I was concerned about HOA, but also because I wanted to sleep. Like, it wasn't just that I wanted to sleep every night after 2 a.m., guys. Like, it was a lot to do with just keeping the house together. Like, I was really concerned after that first letter. I was like, I've dealt with HOA before, and as I'm sure if you guys have too, you know that these people can be trouble. Like, a lot of times they just fight to get you out of a house. And when whenever Kaylee said that the landlord was okay with us staying and she wasn't going to evict us, I know that the homeowner was on our side a lot of times and she was fighting for us, which I appreciated up until the day I moved out. But I'm telling you right now, if HOA wanted us out of that house, they could have gotten us out of that house.
Can I get in here?
Yeah, sure.
It's like the landlord was like, yeah, obviously I don't want to have to find new people.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, here's the thing. People that have problems are problems. And at a certain point, they were getting sick of dealing with this. Because there were just more and more problems. There were more and more problems. And it doesn't matter whose side who is on. The person that owns the house doesn't even speak English.
Yeah.
So they were getting pretty fucking sick and tired of dealing with this to begin with.
And I'm gonna also add to that HOA can foreclose a house. I don't know if you guys knew that. I don't think... Honestly, a lot of the times when I would talk to the house about this stuff, they didn't know any of this. You know? They didn't know that they could fine the owner. They didn't know that we could get fined. They didn't know that the house could be foreclosed or that they could complain to the city. Right, so because a lot of them had not lived in the house before or like owned a house or like rented it, but some did, most didn't, right? So yeah, whatever. If they wanted to get us out of the house, I keep having to say this because it's like, it should be so clear at this point that if they wanted us out of the house, they could have done it. I mean, if anybody in the house thought that we could just make it through 10 months, they're only fooling themselves. And like, I didn't know that they were fighting this stuff until maybe June. Because, like I said, we didn't hear anything from them after that first complaint, right? We didn't hear anything. We were like, okay, it's fine. It's all good. Right? And anybody in the house can say that. Like, there was no complaints to us directly. I only found out that there was, in fact, complaints when I came back from California because the landlord had come down to the house. She was going to look at the house and talk to the people there. I was in California at the time, so I told them to deal with it. And she had left letters from the HOA that had been sent. And obviously, if you had read the leaked stuff, you would know this. I'm not going to show it on stream again, but yeah. So they had been complaining in May several times, in June several times, right? So this was continuous with the homeowner. And they were threatening to fine her $250 per day if she did not kick us out. Right, so, and no one is going to pay $250 per day to have us stay in the house. I mean, let's be honest. You think she would pay $250 per month for 10 months? No. Let's be real. Anybody can do the calculations, and she would not do it, alright? Everybody knows. So yeah, I found that out, and so I started messaging the homeowner and the realtor and all that. I hadn't been in touch with them before, but only because we had trouble with the rent. Like, there were so many things in the house that we were trying to organize that was just torture. Like, getting 7 people to be on the same page is really, really difficult, okay? Like, making sure everybody pays rent, making sure everyone is, like, splitting the cost between furniture, making sure everyone is, like, pitching in for groceries. It's just a lot of things to keep track of. And it was very difficult for not just me, but other people in the house, too. So, I messaged her, and I was, like, trying to solve the situation, because I've experienced other people having to be evicted. I knew about the city zone laws, which, if you guys don't know about this, you could have Googled it yourself probably, but every city have zones where they divide properties into different categories. So you got like your commercial real estate, like, you know, malls, etc. Or you got like apartment complexes, or you got gated areas with their houses, like residential areas. And typically, I will admit, I did not look into this before moving because I figured that the realtor would know and make sure, right? You would assume that a realtor would know this and they would just not approve us if they knew that it was like a single family home. But I just didn't do my due diligence and look into it. Honestly, I didn't even look into the HOA rules either, but I should have. Like, we should have looked into all this stuff before. It's in the paperwork. It's your job. It's not in the paperwork for the house. It's a city rule, and it's different in every city. Because there are homes that are not single-family homes as well, where you can share with several residents and not just two unrelated individuals. So, has to be zoned R2 for multifamily. Yeah, so I figured, okay, I don't need to do my due diligence on this because I figured the house owner or the realtor would have known this already. So yeah, anyway, we didn't know that. And when I saw that, I'm not kidding you. I was like, we're fucked, because my ex dealt with a person like this before, because he purchased a house in a single family zone without realizing it, and he rented it out to several individuals, I think 5. And then the neighbor complained to the city over and over and over again. And then they came out to inspect the property, told him to get the fuck out. They were like, get out of here. We're gonna take your house if you don't get out. So he had to move everybody from the house and rent it out to a family instead, right? So that happened. I was like, oh God. Like, we are so screwed. And so I talked to the house owner, and I told him I would do my research, and like it's a lot, because HOA could have simply just called the city and made a complaint, like a formal complaint, and we would have been kicked out, like 100%. There was so much evidence that HOA were collecting, like to the point where they were actually holding and still holding a hearing.
They were watching the streams.
They were watching the streams because of somebody who told them that we were social media people in the beginning, right? Like, our address was literally leaked on the second day. During that stream, it was leaked. We had deliveries to the house. We even received mail to the mail office that was addressed... Can I say that? Should I say that?
Can I tell the story?
He tells it a lot more funny than I did, because he was with me when we went to the mail office. So you go ahead and tell the story.
So Izzy and I, we were going to go, and I think it was just the two of us. And we were going to go to pick up something that she had ordered. And because for whatever reason they hadn't gotten their mail set up, or I forgot why, we had to go all the way over to the post office.
Yeah.
And we got up to the post office, and after waiting in line behind 2 people for about, 40 minutes or so, we finally got up to the line, and we talked to a man who had enough of people's shit 40 years ago. So he's not happy. Like, he was already sick of this shit. He heard her name, he heard that address, and his eyes rolled back to the all the way to the back of his head. He was pissed. So he says, oh, so you're the one with the packages. And I think immediately, Izzy didn't pick up on this, but I thought immediately, fuck. But, I was like, okay, yeah, well, I don't know about packages, but we had one package. And he says, oh, okay. So he goes, he gets Izzy's name, and then he goes and he gets the package that has her name on it, and he says, okay, this is for you. Then he leaves, and he wheels back a 6-foot-tall, 4-foot-wide, giant metal rolling container full of shipping boxes addressed to Kaylee, the fish molly. And I showed this, and I looked at his name, and I thought to myself, Because for a minute I didn't pick up on it. I was like, wow, that's her last name? That's a weird name. And then I realized what the fuck it was. And so immediately I sit down and I'm like, okay, do you know what Twitch is? He says no. Do you know what YouTube is? He says kinda. And he says, oh shit. And again, this guy has had enough of people's shit 40 years ago. And he's been working at the post office, dealing with a bunch of rich people for the last 20 years, and he is fucking tired of it. So he just got a giant 6-foot pile of shipping boxes addressed to Kaylee the Fish Moley, and, you know, he's just pretty much fucking sick and tired of this shit. And so I explained the situation to him, and he says, so you're rejecting the package?
Yeah, they asked us to pay for it. Or
no, they didn't ask us to pay for it. They said,
he asked, are you paying for this?
Yeah, and I said, no, we're not. And he says, so you're rejecting it? And I said, yes. And he says, And so I explained to him about the internet situation. At this point, I mean, this guy, again, is like 55 years old. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he's just now learning about Facebook. So he's not necessarily, you know, with the times. But he knows enough about it to know that it's a pain in his ass. And we go back, we tell... Oh, wait. There's another thing that got sent. Remember this one?
The letter?
This was a letter. It was actually... I had no idea that he did this. But apparently, out of the bottom of his heart and the goodness in his heart and soul, Mitch Jones created a homeless foundation. And we received the letter from Google to authorize this homeless foundation in Mitch Jones's name. So he shows us all of this. We explain it, and oh right. On the front of that letter, there's a big fucking question mark. Yeah, they were like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, we all had this happen, and obviously, you know, it was a bad time. So we rejected, by the way, the about 450 shipping containers that I'll turn down the AC in a minute. And we rejected the 450 shipping containers to Kaylee the Fish Moley, and we told them basically, if you know what, man. If you get an order for over 50 boxes, just go ahead and cancel it.
Yeah.
So the idea is like, why was I telling this story?
Well, just
about some dumb shit,
yeah,
right? I mean, basically, like, this is just it's mounting evidence that, and like this is also like the people at the HOA. I mean, this is.
By the way, that letter was in Polish. That's why I could even read it.
Oh yeah.
I was like.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they probably had the question mark on it. Nobody knew what the fuck it said.
All the things on it was in Polish, so I could read it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, some Polish dude literally opened an account.
Well, he
started a business.
He set up a charity foundation.
Yeah,
in Mitch's name,
in Poland,
called the Mitch Jones Homeless Shelter.
Addressed to a house.
Yeah, addressed to the house. So yeah, we had to deal with this, and it was a little bit fucking ridiculous. But the point is that, you know, all of these people. This is like a fine, upstanding neighborhood full of people that have a stick up their ass all the time.
Yeah.
And here's how nice this neighborhood is. They like to drive around the neighborhood in golf carts. You know, and you know they name they call their kid Sport, and you know they wear baseball hats. You know, this is the kind of neighborhood that we're talking about here. Everybody's got their lawn mowed.
There was no golf court either. Like, they were just straight up driving around in their golf carts around the neighborhood. Like, I was just like so dumbfounded when I saw that. I was like, where's our fucking golf cart? We need to get one.
Yeah. So they were not happy.
Golf court. Oh, what's it called? Golf
cart.
No, like the area you play golf in. What's that called?
The green.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. It depends.
Golf.
People call it different things.
Golf course.
The
course.
Putting green. Yeah.
There you go. Course. Sorry.
Golf.
Thanks,
okay.
chat.
All right. So yeah, I
course.
mean, the point is that like
Oops.
basically everybody in this area in the city
Papega.
had just about enough of the Papega Palace. Okay,
Yeah.
the Taco Bell's had issues. Torchy's I think had issues. I don't fucking remember. Let's see. The place that I got my hair cut,
Oh,
they had a
did.
lot of
Yeah.
fucking issues. Let's see. The post office had issues. HEB had issues. That's a grocery store. So
Yeah.
pretty much like half of every single resident in that area in the city did not want us to be there or them to be
Yeah.
there, including me sometimes, right? And so this is something like the whole idea that, Izzy is the architect of the destruction of the house could not be further from the truth. The fact is, half the people in the fucking city were the architect of the destruction of the house. They were not happy about them, as I said, from day 2. All right, we got it was 24 hours. We did pretty good those
Yeah.
first 24 hours.
I was drinking wine the first day after we moved in. I was chilling.
Yeah, you were having a good time.
Yeah, I
You
was
didn't know
having
what
a
was
good
going to
time.
happen. So, yeah, they were fucking pissed after that. And it just kind of got worse. And it was like, it's one of those things where whenever you never know somebody and you don't like them, and then every little fucking thing they do pisses you off. That's basically how the HOA was.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, like, they went around, and weren't they complaining about cigarette butts?
Well, so I don't know if this was one of the reasons why we got the house, but Ethan is a smoker, and a lot of people who rent houses do not allow smokers in the house. So of course we lied in the lease, and we said that there are no smokers in the house. So I told Ethan several times to like not leave buds out because that would get us screwed. And I will say that he did try to keep it clean, but when I left there was a couple of them there. I don't know if it's like a smokers thing where they just do that, but
Well, it's
I
kind
think
of
that's
like how
I will
animals leave
say in
footprints.
Ethan's favor that he was like the most quiet person there besides Jay. Like, I saw him down there a couple of times when they were being loud, but he was like, he was not talking. I had no problem with Ethan at all in the house. We had a little argument when we moved in because I was pissed about the 4 a.m. thing, but
there's arguments, but I mean, like, that's just like shit that happens.
yeah,
when
but
we have
I
roommates,
never had an
right?
issue with Ethan after that.
Yeah.
We were fine. I think Ethan is a super nice guy, and I thoroughly enjoyed living with him. He was fine. So that's that.
So you want to talk about the? Let's see, where are we at now? So
Yeah, I don't know where we
the
left off.
garbage. Remember, they're mad about the garbage.
I want to tell you guys something about the garbage, because since everything else is out there and I'm being made to look bad, we have to have a garbage pickup to the house. Like, I don't know if it was, yeah, we paid like $240 to have somebody bring a big truck to the house and pick up all the garbage that they had stored in the garage. If you guys had watched any of the streams, you know that they park their cars in the driveway, right? Everybody parked their cars in the driveway. You want to know why? Because every trash bag that they collected downstairs, they just put it in the garage. So there was like 20 garbage bags in the garage. There was flies everywhere, cockroaches everywhere, like stuff dripping out of the bags, just like going. Tons of boxes everywhere from like furniture that they had, when we moved in. But just like the whole garage essentially was full with trash. So no one parked in the garage. And so we had to hire someone for like over $200 to come to the house, pick up all the shit. Like, the guy, he said he was going to do it for $100. But when he got to the house and saw how fucking bad it was, he's like,
He doubled
I
his
cannot
price, and
do
they still
this
thought they got
for
off
less
cheap.
than $200.
Yeah, that was a disgusting bit of
So-
garbage.
You could not open the garage door without it just like,
Yeah.
it was really bad. And I will say, I think Llama's dad came and did that once too, because he had a truck. So he did come to the house and like pick up the trash again after that, and a lot of the house, I don't even think they know. Like, I don't think they've lived in a house before where they've had to, like, pull out the garbage cans to the front of the, like, driveway with all the trash in it for pickup, right? That's what you do if you live in a residential home. Sorry if I'm, like, babbling. But, yeah, so on a certain day during the week, you have to pull up your, garbage cans to the front of the house. And then someone, like, the people come up and pick it up. And then after that, you have to pull them back to somewhere where apparently the HOA needs the garbage cans not to be in view, which I didn't know, but yeah, anyway, it makes sense. It's a really, like, expensive neighborhood, and yeah, so they complained about that. They were like, you can't leave these garbage cans full of trash in your fucking driveway, like, you need to get rid of that now. This is your first warning. So we're like, okay, we should not be leaving trash in front of the house. Makes sense. So we stopped doing that. We just put the trash cans in the garage with the trash bags in them, and it just stank up the fucking garage. Like, nobody parked in the garage the whole time we lived at the house, and that's why, because it's just full of fucking trash. Like, it smelled like shit in there. And, like, I don't understand. Like, maybe it was all the people coming over. I'm not really sure. Like, a lot of times the house would order food from different places. I think the only person who actually did cooking was Mitch, and maybe Dustin sometimes. Like, he said he made a lot of sandwiches in the house.
One time I microwaved something.
You did?
Yeah.
That doesn't count because that's plastic you have to throw out. Like, I'm saying, like, actual cooking with utensils and stuff. Like, not something you have to throw in the trash. Everybody else, including me, I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, I'm lazy. I hate cooking. So, yeah, I did also do that.
Yeah,
but
I take her out for dinner.
I don't understand. Yeah, I mostly honestly went out to dinner too. Like, yeah, anyway, so I just don't know how the trash got so full. Like, literally after one day, that thing was full. And there was, like, tons of water bottles and all this other stuff. I don't understand how we got pulled full so fast. I really don't. Because I've lived in houses before where that wasn't the case. And my previous house, there was 8 people living there. So we didn't have that problem. We were supposed to order more bins, but because they expected me to do it, and I didn't want to do it because I was never down there, it never got done. Like, I was in charge of getting all the utensils for the house, like the plastic, because no one else was. And then after that, I just stopped buying it because it's fucking expensive. Like, I kept buying this stuff for the house, and they just kept using it, and no one else was paying for it. So I stopped buying the plastic stuff, and I was like, we should probably buy... What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Are you poking your nose?
No, are they making fun of me?
Yeah, they're talking
Were they saying
about you.
Zach? The fuck, guys? We're not even doing anything.
Was he poking his nose? Chat?
I was trying to play the victim. I was trying to play like chat's fucking beating up on me.
He can't breathe through his nose, guys. He needs to pick out those boogers. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he can't breathe if those boogers are in there.
Yeah, you guys don't want me to die, do you?
It's
Wait,
a
actually,
medical
don't answer
condition,
that.
guys.
Say what?
It's a medical condition.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get you to go get a rhinoplasty.
They can take the one from the extra from your nose and put it on mine.
That'd be perfect. Yeah, he does have a very small nose in person. Actually, come up here. Have you guys never noticed? I guess guys don't really look at other guys the same way, but look how small that nose is compared to mine. Right? Well, yeah, anyway. God, I forgot where I left off again. I keep.
Okay, so
What was I talking about? Stop! You guys keep interrupting me. I'm like feeling myself. I'm like telling a story. You guys just like, oh, oh yeah, the trash.
Yeah, so there's trash everywhere. I mean,
Oh.
that's pretty much the whole story, right? So now what else
Oh, yeah,
happens
so
after
The
that?
reason why I didn't want to buy utensils for the house, like actual utensils, was because everything that we bought, the pots, the pans, bowls, cups, they were all sitting in the sink for like 2 weeks. Dirty. No one washing them. Like they would use the pans and everything and then just not clean it. And I could never cook in the house because the dishwasher was not working and I didn't want to fucking clean up after whoever left it in there. So that's why I kept ordering food, because all the shit was always dirty. And even if I cleaned it, like I did clean it once and then it was dirty the next day and they didn't clean up after themselves. So there's that. And I also didn't want to get food to the house, like, you know, TV dinners and stuff, because people kept eating my shit. Like I had to have like 2 house meetings where I discussed this. I was like,
I don't get how people fucking
I don't
do
know who did this, but I'm just letting you know that whoever it was, can you not?
After this happened, I bought a slice of cake, like a deluxe slice of cake. You remember this?
Yeah.
It was a good cake. So I buy this from H-E-B, and I don't eat it the first day. And this is after I knew that there was a food thief. I was literally
He exposed himself on stream.
I was getting anxiety. I was getting anxiety about this because I was so worried that I would go to her house and the cake would be gone. But fortunately, you know, a breezy almost
I was
ate the
spamming
cake.
in his chat.
He
I was like,
almost.
do not eat that. That's Zach's fucking cake. Do
Yeah.
not eat that. And then he saw it. He's like, okay.
Yeah, so I did not. Luckily, I did get my cake. The only thing is, I do want to admit, though, I did drink a Dr. Pepper that was not mine. It happened to be
They drank
Dustin's.
your whole Dr. Pepper.
It happened to be Dustin's.
Every
And
time-
then, yes, there was a 12-pack that I brought downstairs. Big fucking mistake.
Yeah.
The other 12-pack is still up in her room. And that's my secret stash. But I brought
had
that
water
12-pack down.
upstairs.
And they found it out because I had it in a secret cupboard. Well, they found that. This
Yeah.
is where I had, like, all my food stash. Like, my
They found the
cupcakes
secret.
and, yeah, my stash of sodas and everything, right? And so they got into it. But then Dustin, obviously, you know, I told him because he was pissed off. He's like, somebody's drinking my Dr. Peppers. I was like, that's me. And I gave him I gave him a Dr. Pepper back. So we're even now. Okay? So that was pretty much solved. Now, have we gotten to the part about the dog?
Not yet. Honestly, that's going to take me an hour to explain, but...
I mean...
one last thing about the food and stuff. Yeah, every time we bought sodas and like drinks, I think the people that came over to the house just figured it was a free-for-all and they just like ate our food and they drank our water and they drank our sodas. So like it got to a point where I would buy groceries and just store it in my room. Like you cannot leave that stuff down there if it's like good, because they'll just eat it up. Anyway, let's talk about the dog. Can we get the dog emote in chat?
Right now, let me go get a drink.
Okay. Oh, get me another water. I think I
What do you
drank
mean
the
another water?
I already drank it.
God damn.
I drink a lot of water.
No wonder you gotta use the bathroom all the time.
So, I wanna start off the conversation about the dog with, I fucking love that dog. Like, that dog was the best. That dog would get so excited when she saw me. I'm gonna miss the fuck out of that dog. I really am. Like, I almost cried yesterday when I thought about that dog, because I was like, I love that dog so much. And I came back from California and she ran up to me and she was like freaking out when she saw me. It made me so happy. I was like, this dog, I'm gonna steal this dog right now. Like, can I just have this dog with me? So I'm getting emotional. Like, this dog, So good. And Pippa too. Like, both of the dogs. Pippa was a bit of a pipega, but her face is so cute. Like, you cannot be mad at her face. Let me show you guys the face of Pippa. Like, let me pull it up right now. Like, you guys will understand when I show you. Wait. I have pictures of the other dog too, but I just want to show this real quick. I made a little video of her looking at my food. She was just like, yeah. Anyway, they're just cute little dogs. Like, they honestly, I really liked Kaylee's dog a lot. Like, she'd always want to jump on the couch and cuddle with me, lay in my lap, just like roll over on the belly for belly massages. She was just great. So, the one thing I'm gonna miss out of the whole house is that dog.
That dog was like her baby. By the way, my mom wanted to ask if you want a hamburger. She's making hamburgers. Do you want one?
Sure.
Oh shit. Okay.
We're gonna harden chat from mom, like Asmon mom.
Do you want yours with a bun or anything, or just a hamburger?
Yeah, bun. Does she have like lettuce or something, or
I don't think so.
tomato?
No, we don't have those green.
Okay,
things
what
in
about
this house.
mustard and
Mustard
ketchup?
and ketchup? Yeah, I'll let her know, and then I'll just go down and I'll make it for you.
We bought mustard and ketchup the other day.
Yeah.
I'll use that.
Okay.
Yeah, his mom is great. She's really nice. I mean, we have tons of conversation about random shit. Me and her mom. Anyway, so Kaylee had a dog back in New Jersey where she lives, and initially we were gonna have 2 dogs at the house. It was gonna be Jay's dog and Tiffany's dog. Tiffany's dog being Pippa, the dog I just showed you guys, and we were all okay with that. And when Jay moved in, she didn't have her dog with her, so we were like, where's the dog? And she's like, she doesn't really like other dogs, so I left her behind. Yada yada, whatever. We're like, okay, cool. And then Kaylee goes to New Jersey. Kaylee goes to New York with Tiffany for a G Fuel event, and they stay for maybe a week or so. And then Kaylee wrote in the group chat, she's like, I'm bringing a dog with me. We're like, what dog? And she shows a picture of the dog, and we're like, okay. It was a small dog. I didn't have a problem with it. I was like, I kind of wish we had talked about it, because I wanted a dog too. Like, I really want a dog. Like, I want a small dog that I can cuddle and hang out with, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I wasn't too mad about it. So she brought her dog with her. I like the dog a lot, but the main issue is that dog is a puppy, and puppies need a ton of attention and a ton of training. I've trained a dog before, 2 dogs actually. So it has Tiff. She's trained dogs before. Pippa is fairly trained. I would say she's not the best dog I've ever met, but she's
not feral.
Yeah, she's not feral. Like, she knows not to poop and pee in the house. Like, she can listen to commands. She knows her name. She is perfect to go for walks with. But Kaylee's dog has no training. Like,
it does whatever the fuck it wants.
It has no training. It doesn't know it's like, literally it didn't have a name when it moved into the house. So we named it Arya, the girl with no name. That was why we named it Arya, because the dog had no name. And it was a girl, so that's why we called it that.
So,
do you want to take over the stream?
No, it's okay.
He's dying to take over the stream right now. He does this every time I come to his house to stream. He's just like hovering in my background, just like, I don't want to talk to your viewers.
Yeah?
He does this every time that I stream at his house.
So, the dog.
Uh-huh.
Shits everywhere.
Yeah. That dog shit on my fucking carpet. I have like a...
It just does whatever it wants to do. And this is a problem, right? And the dog shitting everywhere was a problem. And to the point where, well, I'll get to that, right? But before I get to that, I want to give you guys a question, or actually just think about this. Think about how great this dog's life is. Like,
that is so
it literally
true.
it gets fed treats 24/7.
Yeah, like no
There's
one.
like 4 people that take care of it and
like,
pet her.
Guys,
and they do
literally, it would shit on the floor, and someone
then-
would give it a
oh,
treat.
Oh no!
And then they pet the dog. I'm like,
And you know, they're just
Like-
being so nice to the dog, giving him treats while she's shitting on the carpet. And, you know, nobody really gives a fuck. Like, think about this dog's life. She goes wherever it wants, shits wherever the fuck it wants, pisses everywhere. Who cares? And it just gets fed treats and gets petted all the time. It's like the greatest life for a dog. I wish I could get reincarnated as a dog like
Yeah.
that. It would be fucking incredible. Well, anyway, the dog's life might have been great, but everybody else's life wasn't as good.
Yeah.
And so there was a situation that occurred in which an individual in the house had the great idea to do their laundry.
yeah.
Well, we have a laundry room.
Well, that
Which,
house,
if you
yeah.
want to say if there's any sort of a litter box for the dog, that's the laundry room. Not a place in the laundry room, but the whole thing. So anyway, this individual goes and they open up the they open up the room to the what do you call it? The laundry room,
Yeah.
and they take their laundry down there, and they're going to open up because they have one of these things that actually needs the Tide Pods, you know, the things
Yeah.
that taste very delicious. And anyway, so they open up the Tide Pod box.
By the way, I'm about 90% certain it's Kaylee writing on his channel, by the way, so if
Oops.
it's not, then, well, Mitch's account.
Well, this happened, right? I mean, like,
I mean, this is nothing against Kaylee, like,
it's the dog,
it's the dog.
right?
We're
This
just
is
talking
it's a
about the
funny
dog.
story. Like, I mean, it's a funny story. So they open up the box.
Like, I don't want drama, but,
Can
I
I tell
didn't-
them what's in the box?
yeah.
Dog shit. Dog
I
shit's
don't
in the
know
box. Dog
who
shit's
did
in
this,
the box.
by the way. Like,
Yeah, so
I'm
they
not
they
gonna
took all
say
the because they cleaned it up. So they took the poop that was in the laundry room,
yeah.
and they're like, I know how to fix this. We'll put it in a box of Tide Pods. And honestly, like, there are things like that happen that are just so poetic. They're beautiful, and that's the way that I felt about it. Now, obviously, the person who was trying to do their laundry didn't feel the same way because
Yeah,
they
were
reached.
disgusted by
Imagine
it.
just reaching in there.
I pretty much didn't do my laundry in the house because there was always like shit on the floor, and then there was tons of clothes on the floor too, like all the time, and in the laundry, on the floor, on the counter, in the washer and dryer, always full with clothes. I don't know whose clothes was in there, but it was just impossible to do laundry in that house. It really was, and so I just had like a big stack of clothes that needed to be washed.
Here's a good question. Whoever did that, do you think they washed their hands? They washed their hands after they put the poop in the box? What do you think the chances are?
Are you asking chat?
No, I'm asking you.
No.
No. I mean, it was dried anyway.
It's just like, I just want to say this really quick, as like respectful as I can, but I just don't think it's fair to pin everything on me and say that I'm the reason we got evicted when all of this stuff happened at the house. And I was very abundantly clear at our meeting when I announced that I was moving out that I did not want us to talk about this, like on stream or anywhere. Like, I did not want
the
a
entire
drama.
house had sat down and agreed on a narrative that they were going to say, and
Yeah.
they weren't going to talk about any of the drama until it got brought up. Right? There was an an agreement that they would not talk about this at all.
And I'm gonna get to the other point later, but I want to give like a background story. before I do that, because I want you guys to know what was going on inside of the house. And I never would have said this. Like, I never would have gone on Twitter or Twitch to talk about any of this stuff, because I just don't think it's fair for the people in the house at all, you know, if it wasn't necessary, you know. But I really feel like I've been quiet about this while just being pinned against the wall, like I was an issue. And that really, really bothered me. Like, it's not fair to me, because I genuinely put in so much work to keep this house together. I really did. Really, truly. Like, I'm getting emotional. That's how much.
She did a lot for the house. She wanted everything to work out. I don't think anybody went into this and they were thinking, wow, I can't wait to fuck everything up. You know, I mean, like, let's be real. Like, nobody wanted this to go wrong.
And, like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm, like, putting on a show either, because I didn't want to do the stream. But I feel like a lot of stuff was left out, because I was okay with them talking about it, but they just left out so much stuff that they didn't talk about, and only, for most part, talked about what I did. You know, like me telling them to shut up and being a party pooper, and like telling the landlord. And I'm gonna just say, while Kelly is watching the stream, that I feel bad about talking to the landlord. Like, I really shouldn't, but I was so upset. Like, I have been trying so hard to vouch for you guys to the landlord, like lying about the conditions in the house, and then you guys just kept doing this stuff. And I'm gonna get to that part later, because that's a whole other situation. Like, what happened towards the end of the house, I feel like that's a different conversation, you know?
Do you need tissue?
I'm okay. But yeah, I know this is turning into, like, I don't want to be emotional on my stream, because, like, I know how you guys are gonna spin it, and, like, I don't want to do that. So let me just cool off a little bit. I'm getting really emotional. Like, this is what happens when I get, like, anxious and upset. I just give it a second. I will cool off, and it will go back to normal. I'm sorry. This is, like, I get like this when I'm emotional on my stream, you know? It's just, I'm sorry. I just hate the idea that, like, never mind. Anyway, I don't even, so let's not talk about the dog anymore, because I feel like it's starting to sound like I'm blaming Kaylee for this, and I'm really not, because a new dog, a puppy, is a lot of work. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Kaylee knew this, because a lot of people don't know this. They get a new dog, a puppy, and they just kind of think that the dog will be trained and you can just, like, go about your life. But you have, it takes a lot of time and dedication to train a dog. You have to literally be with a dog all day, take her potty maybe 8 times when they're new. This dog was a couple of weeks old, so it didn't need that much. But the reason why the dog pooped in the house is because it just doesn't understand that it needs to be outside to poop, right? It hadn't gotten to that yet. And, like, I know dogs are like this, because I've seen other dogs do this. And I think that Kaylee needed to put a lot more work into it, but she just didn't realize that she needed to. Because you're supposed to train the dog from the very beginning. And a lot of people also think that you can just go to, like, a place and train your dog there, like, for the day. But a dog requires, like, weeks of training. So if you guys ever get a dog, please do not think that you can just go to somebody, get your dog trained for like a day, and they're gonna be great. No, like if you're getting a dog, that's like getting a not like a baby, but it's a lot of work. You're gonna have to spend weeks training your dog, taking them on walks, taking them outside to poo and pee constantly so that they learn that they're supposed to go outside to do that. So just keep that in mind, anybody that's considering getting a dog, that's what you're signing up for. But I want to move on from that. And I see a comment saying, Kaylee said they are not getting evicted. See, like, I know Kaylee is pretty malicious in what she's been doing, and I can forgive her for that because I think she's just upset. And I want to have a discussion with her privately. But no, they were not in the eviction proceedings because I know what evictions are like. They didn't file a notice. They were not in the proceedings yet. Evictions can take months, right? My ex had to evict somebody. It can take a long time. And the first step to an eviction is when they leave a note on your door telling you have to move out, right? It did not get that far. We didn't get to that point. And when we talk about they're getting evicted, they were getting evicted anyway, I'm not saying that they were in the process of an eviction. I'm saying that was where they were headed.
It was going to happen.
They were heading there.
It was going to happen.
100%, especially if they're going to fight. Like, it was either they move out or get evicted, right? Those were the two options. And the house owner was ready to fight the eviction. And I was vouching for the house. I was saying, we're not doing all this stuff. She came over to the house. We literally hired a maid the day before she came to the house to make sure the house was clean, right? So she came over, saw that it wasn't dirty, went about her day. We said, there's not 7 people living here. We didn't say that specifically to her, but we made sure Dustin and Ethan were not home. And that was it. Like, she was on our side. But what they don't know is that I had a long conversation with the house owner's friend because the homeowner, homeowner, I keep saying, switching between, she doesn't speak English very well. She lives in Mexico. So she sent her friend to talk to me. And like the whole night, I have stuff I want to share with you guys. I feel like it's like, should I just talk about it now? I don't know. There's a lot more to like the other stuff, but if you guys just want me to jump ahead to that, I can. So let me know in chat if you want me to just talk, like continue talking about the rest of the other issues at the house, or just move on to that event. Let me know. Like because like there's a lot more that happened before then, but I could just jump ahead and because I'm.
Where are we at here?
Well, we talked about Kaylee's dog, and then Kaylee got mad in chat, so.
What? I mean, like, the dog's untrained. It's shitting all over the house. Like,
Yeah.
of course people aren't going to like that.
And she brought up the friend thing, too, so I just banned her
come
from my chat.
on.
It's not related to this whatsoever. That's our own beef that we have to deal with, but it's just like, I just honestly feel that this didn't have to happen. But I genuinely was pinned against the wall. Like, I feel like several people have been accused at this point, not just me. And I will say that I think Mitch did a great job. I'm honestly shocked. I would never expect Mitch to do such a great job in all of this.
I told you
Like,
he was reformed.
Can we get a heart in chat from Mitch for just staying out of this publicly?
See,
I never thought that would happen because in every other situation that he has been in for the past couple of years, he's been the first person to flip the fuck out. And he didn't. And I'm so, like, me and Mitch may not be good friends, but I'm very, very impressed. So, I just want to say that.
I was a little bit skeptical, but he and we talked a bit before they all moved in, and I just said, you know what? I think that it's an actual new Leaf Jones. And it turned out to be the case. So, yeah, I mean, Mitch actually didn't have anything really to do with all this.
And on top of that, he also spent a lot of time just in his room playing games. Like, he wasn't a part of a lot of the parties that happened downstairs. And, like, I'm not going to blame people. I'm not going to say, like, this person did that, because it's just not fair. Like, I really don't think it's fair. But this is what happened at the house, and I'm going to discuss what happened, but I'm not going to say who did what, because it's just not it's not necessary. And I really don't think, like, a lot of people are talking about Kaylee's dog being, like, a main issue, which it was a big issue, but I really just don't think that she knew what she got herself into. And the dog simply shouldn't have been in the house at that stage. The dog needed training.
Well,
and doing that in the house is not the right place to do it.
It's like, I mean, I don't see how Kaylee can get mad about that. I mean, she literally had a dog that was walking around shitting and pissing all over the house.
Everyone knew the dog.
I mean, like, let's just step back for a second and think about living in a house with a dog that shits and pisses everywhere. Of course people are going to criticize that and get upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't us singling Kaylee out or anything. I mean, come on. Come on, of course people are going to be upset about that.
Yeah. I wasn't super upset about it. Like, I know other people in the house was more upset than I was. The only issue I had was that whenever I left my door open to my room, the dog would personally come into my room and poop on my carpet. Like, I genuinely think the dog thought that my carpet was like grass, and she was supposed to poop on it, because it was always on my carpet. Like, it was never on my, like, floor. It was just on my carpet every time. And so my solution was just closing my door, and that fixed the problem, you know, for me at least. But and also I know the dog has a lot of potential. Like, it's not like the dog was a bad dog, because Tiff did a lot of tricks with her without a treat, and she was able to, like, understand. So I do think the dog has potential to be trained, and I really, really hope that Kaylee takes it more seriously for the sake of the next house.
You don't have a dog that shits all over the house. I mean, this is not, I mean, really, this is not, I can't even imagine being defensive about this. It's like, if I was her, I would be constantly apologizing, cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Right? And this is me. Okay? Like, if you have I mean, like, come on. Like, it's not even really her, it's the dog.
Yeah. So, moving on from the dog, I think the main issue was the fact that the house was just, like, not clean. And I know several people in the house kept cleaning up after one another, and I cleaned up the kitchen a couple of times, but eventually I just gave up. Like, I gave up, because every house meeting we would talk about the same things, and the rules that we would set during the house meetings would just keep getting broken the same day. It's just, like, if you're setting rules, just don't agree with it. Like, don't set rules and then just break it in the same day, you know? Hold on, give me a second. Mute my Well, maybe you should address it, I think.
What?
The second part.
The money thing?
Yeah.
So you want, like, the Kaylee tweet? I mean, just want me to say it? I mean, I can just say it.
So,
I mean,
Zach went over to the house today, and
yeah.
Mitch gave him money to give to me.
Well, Mitch, to be fair, so the money, he did not give the money to me. The money was sitting on a box next to the room.
My
so,
room?
Yeah, next to
Oh,
your
so they
room.
didn't take it back?
It was literally just a stack of 20s.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, there was nothing else really more than that. I picked up the money. I asked, I think that I asked somebody about it, and that was pretty, I asked Kaylee about it.
Well, I just think that it's
and that
really
was it.
immature for Kaylee to just bring up irrelevant issues, because it's just obvious that she's trying to make me look bad at this point.
Well,
like, that 4-second clip, and, like, I don't even want to give it attention because it's just ridiculous.
Well,
like,
let's say one thing.
I had a whole conversation, like a 30-minute conversation about that, and I guarantee you can go into anybody's stream and clip a 4-second out of a whole stream to make anyone look bad. I mean, Zach literally on his stream the end said, they're fucking monkeys, all of them. If I clip 4 seconds of that and leave out the whole context of it, that's
Looks
gonna
like
make
I'm
him
getting
look
a Kotaku
racist.
article.
Yeah, like...
Well, let me say this, right? This is the strongest argument that I have, right? And like, I talked to Kaylee about this today, right? And
yeah, he went over to the house
yeah,
today.
and we had a conversation about this because it did seem like that this hurt Kaylee, and I feel like if Kaylee is genuinely hurt by this, to at least give Izzy the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah.
because there's a number of reasons. Number one, I would
and
say,
it's also really disrespectful to talk about me being upset about my stream and saying I should wipe my tears with my money, because I was genuinely upset. And it's like, I cannot just go AFK for 20 minutes because I'm upset. Like, it's really immature, and I genuinely feel like it's not worth fighting over this stuff. Like, I don't want to fight about this stuff at all. I just want us to move past this and not deal with each other again. Like, I have no problem if you don't want to talk to me ever again or even try to resolve anything. But you know, Kaylee, better than anybody, that I spent hours and I tried very hard to help you go through that situation, because I had experienced that for myself. I would never, ever say something like that with the intent of being malicious. Ever. Because I went through years of trying to recover from that situation I went through. So,
well, it's also
just don't.
I mean, if here's like my argument, right? I think this is like a thing, right? Is that saying that if you actually, because you're saying that clip does not represent how you feel,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, you know, that's, and like, you either believe it or not. The best argument that I have to say, okay, that's probably true, is the fact that whenever she said that, there wasn't a 10,000 point live stream fails post upvoted about her saying that. Because imagine if somebody who, I mean, like, let's be honest, Izzy's disliked by a lot of the people on live stream fail, for example. If they hear her say that, oh, my
Just
friend's
don't
best friend...
even say it, Zach. It's
Okay, well, if they hear her saying
like,
that...
don't even give the drama attention. It's not worth it.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying that if the context was actually what it was in that clip,
Yeah.
then there would have been an article about this. There would have been an outrage
a reason
about this.
why.
There's a reason why nobody brought this up until now.
Yeah.
It's because the context was completely different.
Yeah, because it's a 4-second clip. Like,
Yeah, that's all.
There's a reason why they didn't post the 30-minute conversation that I had about it. So it's just, this is the type of stuff that is a problem in the community, because people take things out of context in a lot of situations and they get banned for it. You know, like, we've had several people get banned throughout the years because they've said something or they've done something that's been taken out of context or misconstrued when their intentions were completely different. And people write articles about it, like websites are just taking things and twisting it into their own narrative. Like, this is a genuine problem in the community, because I have had friends where this has happened to, and they didn't deserve getting banned or getting, like, a ton of backlash for it. You know, like, they've said something that may be a little, what's the word? Edgy on their streams, you know? And it's completely taken apart and made to look like something it's not. And their reputations are ruined because of this. Forever. And it's wrong. Like, I think everybody needs to be skeptical of these things with anyone, even me. Because it's just not, a lot of things that you hear online especially are not what they seem. Another point to that, I don't want to talk about this for too long because I just don't think it's worth discussing. But a lot of times when someone gets banned on Twitch, they have all the money in the bag. Like, they can tell you whatever they want about what happened, right? And they know that Twitch is never going to reveal why they got banned. And so they turn it into something it's not, right? Which this is my personal opinion, but I feel like Twitch should be more open about public bans, like big bans that happen, and actually say what happened. Because I feel like streamers, they're just like walking on a thin line. They don't know what could get them banned. And that's an issue, because it's like, how are you supposed to follow the rules when you don't know when they're being broken? Right?
Well, I think it's more about, like, kind of things being taken out of context and then, you know, turned into a narrative that doesn't necessarily represent what that person was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really the situation. And, you know, you said clearly that you didn't mean that.
Yeah, and there's,
And
I mean,
that's all there is to it. And I don't know.
So, it just sucks that it turned into this, because when I first started to stream today, like, I just wanted to talk about the situation, because I really feel like there was so much left out of the story that people just didn't know about, because we kept it a secret. We lied about it to the homeowner. We lied about it to the realtor. It's just ridiculous, because we all know you guys watch the streams. It's there. You guys saw the house. You guys watched the streams when they were up. Sure, it was just a couple of times. Like, we had strictly agreed not to stream at the house when there was parties there, because it was just not worth it. Like, especially with HOA being on our ass, it would just made us look bad. And those 2 streams, I believe, at the house when there was parties, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, that one night, they were up till 7:30 and beyond that. I think the party stopped at 7:30.
Shut the fuck up. It's 7:30 a.m.
I'm never gonna live this down. I am never gonna live that down. Ever. Like, I swear this is gonna be, like, my catchphrase forever. And I tried so hard to, like, turn it into a meme, and I feel like it is a meme, but it's really funny. Like, I'm actually so happy that Dustin turned it into an emote, because I just thought that was fucking hilarious. But even beyond 7:30, like, they were awake for quite some time after that, until, like, 10, playing a movie. And I genuinely don't think that they understand how loud this stuff is on the second floor. If you guys have seen the house, it's a little weird structure. Like, very open on the bottom area. We don't have much furniture or anything to really isolate the sound. So most of the sound that travels from downstairs travels into our room, like Tiff, Jay, and JC, because Dustin lives on the 3rd floor, so he doesn't hear it. Mitch sleeps in his closet, so he doesn't hear it. Kaylee sleeps in her own bedroom on this other side of the kitchen that has carpet, and she can't hear it. So I think that's why they just don't realize that it travels up. And like, I know Jay has complained about the door being slammed really loud, and it travels up. So there's that. And it's like, again, with people suggesting I wear earphones, or what are they called? Earplugs. It's just the same thing of like me expecting there to be parties every day because it's a streamer house. It's just ridiculous. Like, it is possible to live in a household with other people who just party on the weekends or party like 3 days a week or something. You don't have to party every night. And it necessarily wasn't just that they partied every night. It was that we were in the shitter with HOA. And many of the times that I complained about it being loud is because I didn't want them to piss off the HOA. I really didn't. I was like, we cannot be leaving trash in front of the door. We cannot be staying up this late, having a ton of people over. You guys need to be more considerate because we will get kicked out if we keep getting complaints. So it's about, I would say it's about 60-40 that I wanted to sleep, 40% being the HOA. But other people in the house also talked to them about it. It wasn't, I hate that this is just making like me the only problem with the staying up late, but it really wasn't. Like, I just think maybe I talked about it a lot because I'm a very vocal person and confrontational, so I'm usually the bad guy. Like, if they wanted someone to be kicked out, it was usually me kicking that person out. Like, there was this one time with Emiya, and like, I truly never had a problem with Emiya. I barely even...
What do you want on your hamburger?
Cheese and the patty.
Oh shit! I don't think they got cheese. They put cheese on it. How about just ketchup and mustard?
Okay.
Ketchup and mustard, right?
Yeah, sure.
With the bun?
Yeah. And yeah, so I didn't really have an issue with Emiya, but it was like a lot of drama that happened with that, and I eventually told her to fuck off because it was just, they shouldn't, like, I should probably not be talking about this. I'm sorry, Emiya, for dragging you into this. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna talk about it. I think Emiya is nice, even though like she probably hates me now. I've never had anything against her personally. I just didn't. So I told her to stay away from the house because there's just so much drama happening with them. So, but yeah, there's totally besides the point, I think. Let's see. So I want to go ahead and talk about the big elephant in the room, right? And I want you all to sit down, take a breather, be respectful of people in chat, don't start shit, because I will turn on 5-month fucking follow mode because I have no subs because I never fucking stream. So just please don't start shit, okay? Really, like, don't. Not with me, not with anybody else, okay? You guys are probably gonna give me shit too. Because, I'm gonna be real, I tried really hard not to be petty. Like, I really went out of my way to not be a bitch. Even though that's what it seemed. I complained a lot, but I never... Like, I was very reasonable. They would always apologize to me the next day after partying, saying, we're sorry, it's not going to happen again. We'd have a house they'd have a house party, we'd have, like, a meeting about it the next time. We'd talk about, like, how dirty the house is or how loud it is. They'd be like, yeah, we'll clean up. Yeah, we won't be loud. Yeah, we won't bring people over. We won't leave trash in front of the house, etc., right? It's just over and over and over again. And I had gone to California for 2 weeks. I was there to go to E3. I feel like my camera's a little weird. I'm just pulling it up a little bit, sorry. I'd gone there for E3 with Kaylee and Tiff. That was my intention initially. And I did go for the first day, but then I got food poisoning for like a week, so that fucking sucked. And then I decided to stay for a week after they went back to Austin to hang out with Tricky and Fun and Nova. And there's a lot of Squad W in chat. Wait, did I miss something? I don't know if I missed something. Are they just... They're
Here
just
you go,
spamming
my
Squad
lady.
W in chat. I don't know what happened. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I say something about something getting taken out of context, and you guys spam Squad W. Like, this is the problem, chat. Like, you guys shouldn't be doing this. It could be anybody, okay? I didn't even say anything. Yeah, you guys gotta stop making assumptions about people.
Leftist liberal censorship.
What?
Squad W.
Is that what that emote means now? I thought
Well,
it was...
it means women do the same thing too. Leftist liberal censorship. Equal rights. My man. That's it. That's all I
You're
know.
so...
Alright, I'll be back. I gotta get my food.
What? Can I get a question mark in chat? Like,
What the fuck?
I don't even know if that
What
was.
the fuck?
I was like, what?
Yeah, all in one emote, yeah. For the low price of Twitch Prime.
I don't know what that meant, but okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say what happened because like it's already out there pretty much. I mean, there's no reason to just like wait, what happened? Sorry, was that loud? I kind of have to go pee too soon, honestly. Maybe Zach should just take over for a bit. Zach? I feel like I need to pee before I talk about this. Should I talk about it and then go pee? Or just wait till Zach comes up and then I'll go pee? What do you guys think? 1 in chat, talk about it and then pee. 2 in chat, tell Zach to come up and then go pee. And then talk about it. Fuck, there's a lot of each. Oh, God. Okay, Zach?
Yeah.
Can you come up here?
Yeah.
I have to pee. Can you take over for a bit?
I just had to pee. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, be right back.
Alright, okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, boys. I actually brought her food up first because I had to pee, and I was gonna touch my dick, and I didn't want to wash my hands, but I knew that if I did that, and I touched her food, she'd get mad. So I had to give her her food, and then go ahead and pee, and then get my food afterwards, right? Because, like, you don't want to have, I mean, like, for me, it's like you get a little bit of dick cheese on the hamburger, it's not a big deal, but for her, it's the end of the world, right? Something like that. So yeah, I mean, this story, I mean, holy fuck, man. How long has this even gone on? Like 2 hours? Jesus Christ. And this is, as you guys can see, it's really complicated. And at the end of the day, I mean, I think that the one thing to just keep in mind is that, like, all of this shit is, it's just like I mean, like, it's a little bit ridiculous. Some of it's a little bit ridiculous, but like, how many of you guys have had like fucking roommates and shit, especially with people you didn't really know that well before you moved in with them, that haven't had a similar story like this? I mean, this shit can happen all the time. Cable's deleted tweet? Well, yeah, because whenever she tweeted it out, it didn't get the attention and the attraction, or the traction that she wanted it to, and so she deleted it. I mean, that's why. But the point is that, like, this shit happens all the time. And alright. Sup, y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold. Okay? There you go, you better be fucking happy. Alright. You ready?
Yeah.
Damn, my time's up already.
Yeah. You want to take over my stream some more?
I don't know. Let's see. I'll be back.
He loves this stuff, chat. Like, this is... He loves this. He's like, fuck, she's back.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. You good?
Yeah. What are you doing down there?
I was gonna make my food.
Oh,
I made
burger?
your food first because I'm a nice person.
so nice.
There's no other reason
Thank
for
you.
besides that.
Alright. Dude, I'm already almost through 2 bottles of water. What is wrong with me? Well. So, I was in California having a good time with Fawn, Tricky, and Nova. I love them, man. I was like, these guys are so nice. I was having a great time. We went to this like cool ass MTV party. I was just very happy. So, I did wash my hands, by the way, guys. I promise. I think I don't, so it's hard for me to like remember all the details, but I'm gonna try to do my best and be as respectful as I can. Wait, why are you guys dance gaming? I literally just said I washed my hands. So, I come back from California, I think, I don't know if it's Sunday or Saturday. And I stayed over, no, it's definitely Saturday. Definitely Saturday. And, wait, no. Let me think for a second. See, I really don't want to get this wrong. I just want to get it right. Because it's going to matter. It's, let me tell you, it's going to matter what day it is. Okay, so let me make sure I don't get it wrong. It was definitely on a Saturday. You know what? I'm going to check my fucking ticket right now. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. June. What day is this? Hold on, let me check what day that is. Okay. So, I flew back on June 28th on a Friday. Right. I think so. I came back on June 28th, right?
Well, it's hard for me to say. I don't remember the day exactly.
Yeah, I came back on June 28th. It was like 10 p.m. So I went over to Zach's house and slept over here. And then the next day, I go back to the house and everything is fine. Like, me and Kaylee hug and I hug everybody else. We missed each other. I missed everyone. We were cool. And I don't remember when it was, but we had a house meeting, I believe, on the Sunday, the day after, or the day of. It could be either one. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to say for sure.
If I remember right,
Mm-hmm.
it was not the day that you came back because you stayed with me. The day that you went back, you had a house meeting, and that night they had the party.
So it would be on a Sunday to a Monday, right?
I can't say.
It's either a Sunday to a Monday or a Monday to a Tuesday. But I'm pretty sure it was on a Sunday night to a Monday morning. So I just want you guys to have that in mind. And we had a meeting just a couple of hours early where I believe one person wanted to move out. And we convinced them to stay. And we talked about several problems like the HOA letters, because when I was gone in California, like I told you guys, the homeowner had come to the house to make sure that it wasn't just like completely damaged and all the shit. And she left letters, and if you guys have seen the leaked letters, you would know this, but the letters were basically noted from May throughout June. And I just came back on June 28th, so this was like the beginning of July, right? And they didn't tell me this until I asked. I don't know if they thought I would be pissed or something, but Jay told me that about the letters, and she sent them to me on my phone, and I was like, we're fucked. Because the letters were talking about the single family home, whereas before they had just made like complaints. I was like, we're fucked. Like, this has happened before. I've seen this before. And I don't know, I had to talk to it. Like, I did like an hour research when I came back to the house. I was like researching the HOA rules. I swear to God, I fucking read through every single page of the HOA regulations to make sure that we were gonna follow them to a T. I was like, the moment we break HOA rules, we can get kicked out, because they will come after the homeowner and get us kicked out. Like, in the letters, it said, first warning, first violation is a warning. Second violation will be $250 per day in fines to the homeowner. So I was like, we need to know every single HOA rule there is, because otherwise the homeowner's going to get fined and she will kick us out, right? So it was imperative at this point that we follow the HOA rules and we do not do anything bad. And in the HOA rule, like, I'm telling you, there's like 20 pages. Like, if I had known that there was going to be so many rules in the house before I moved in, like, I feel like there's 7 other people. Like, I feel like I was always the one having to do all the research and due diligence, but it's like, I didn't. And I was hoping other people would, you know, but I did read through the whole thing, and it was, it was like, it was just so many rules. Like, it was, we couldn't be loud, couldn't leave trash. There's just a ton of weird rules in there, like just random stuff. Like, I could pull up the rules right now and read it to you guys for like, but it's just, you guys know, it just basic common sense in a neighborhood like that. Because they're old people living in a rich neighborhood and they just don't want to deal with this shit, right? They didn't want to deal with this shit since day one, you guys. Like, they were over it. So I was like, okay, I've read the HOA. I know the city rules. I know how this shit plays out. I've been through an eviction, not against me, but I helped with one of my ex's tenants that were causing issues. We went to a lawyer, we talked to him, yada yada. I also know the city rules because I looked at those before, so I was like, okay, there are 2 ways this could play out, right? I know I'm very long-winded, I'm sorry. It's a lot of talking. I don't talk this much usually. I'm trying my best to get to the main point. Like, I know you guys are sitting there like, get to the fucking drama, you dumb bitch!
We sit around and we watch train wrecks at night, and so her and I have mastered the art of stalling.
Guys, we're getting to the
point. We're gonna get to
soon.
Here, right, and then we're gonna
but
run an
first,
ad, and then guys, we are only
no. Wait, Zach.
340 subs
But
away.
first, Zach, have you seen this masterpiece of a sweater? For $69.99, this could be yours. Check it out on trainwreckstv.com.
ShopTrainwrecksTV.com.
There you go.
Is that it? I think that's it. I'm not sure. I forgot what the website was.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah.
Ape gang, baby.
Anyway, I'll try my best to get to the point. I feel like this is important, but I know you guys don't give a fuck about this and you just want to hear about the drama. I know. Just, y'all get to the drama, okay? You guys have no choice but to stick around for it, alright? Let's be honest, you guys are not going to leave before the juicy parts, so just stick around, okay? Alright. Where was I? See, you guys keep interrupting me. Like, I keep forgetting where I was talking about, and then I have to start over again. Like, I'm gonna have to start from the top. Guys, we're starting over. No,
In the beginning.
from the beginning. Like, fuck. Nah, don't worry, guys. I'm not. Don't worry. So yeah, there's a shit ton of fucking rules in there. And I was like, this could go down either one way or the other, right? Either they file a complaint with the city, and the city's like, either the city doesn't give a fuck, or the city really fucking cares. Which, like, this is a rich city area, and they're definitely gonna care. So if they just continue filing complaints to the city, they're gonna kick us out, because the city can kick anybody out. Okay? It doesn't matter if you own the property, if there are tenants in the house, they will kick you out. Okay? Especially if you're breaking city code. Like, we broke the city code. They can kick us out. There are no evictions. They can kick us out. Alright? They're just gonna go to a court, file a complaint, the court will send the sheriff with a notice saying we need to leave the fucking property. There are no eviction proceedings like it is with a landlord and a tenant. This is a city, okay? They can kick you out. It doesn't matter what fucking rights you have. They will get you out of there.
We thought, we thought that we'd be able to kind of, negotiate and talk
we
to
were
the,
gonna,
to
like,
HOA,
we
right?
talked to the lawyer. We were like,
Yeah.
we'll put me and Mitch as the only people on the contract, and then everyone else will be maids and, like, fucking servants, and we'll have guest quarters like it says in the law. But it's like, are we really gonna go through all of that and then also go through an eviction? Because some of you guys have let's be honest, some of you guys probably have an eviction, right? Let's be honest, you do. If you do, if you go to court and make the house owner pay for all of the fees that it takes to evict somebody, they will for sure ask the court for you to pay for it if you lose. So if you lose in court, you will pay for all of the fees that you've gathered throughout the months that you're fighting an eviction. And we are 100% getting fucking evicted, because we would have 100% gotten evicted if we had gone to court, okay? So it's like, are we gonna fight that? Are we gonna go through months of eviction processing just to pay like thousands of dollars in court when we lose? Because we had broken the lease, we had broken HOA rules, and we had broken city rules, like city regulations. Do you guys honestly think we would have won in court? No. Like, no, we wouldn't have. So I was like, I was still on good terms with the house when I came back. We had a meeting. I was like, we need to just not, like, do all this shit, because in the letter, it says that there's a hearing, right? Or, not in the letter. Actually, the homeowner said that she was called for a hearing by the HOA on July 29th. And they had a bundle of evidence. Like, they had evidence, they had social media, they had been monitoring our social media since the day we moved in. Yeah. They better fucking sub to Mitch at least, right?
That's what you should have done.
Watch the VODs.
You should have run an ad every time you were going to do something bad.
Yeah.
That way you make the money back.
So yeah, they were looking at our social media and seeing everything that was going on in the house. And I warned them in the house. I was like, they're watching your social media from I warned them from day one. I was like, you guys cannot talk about how many people are living in the house, how dirty it is, or like how messy it is, how late you're staying out. Do not stream any of the parties in the house, because the HOA will definitely see that. So yeah, they agreed. And then we didn't party that night. Thank fucking God they didn't party that night because we had just had the house meeting, you know what I'm saying? Or so I thought. But the next day, I asked everybody where they're going, and they're going to the bar, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sit back at the house. And they go out to the bar, they stay out late, and then actually no, they went down to 6th Street, right? With Wes.
With everybody else, yeah.
This is the day that Wes and Knut and
Wes, Knut, John Zerka and a few other
came
dudes
to
over.
to Austin. Yeah, that's right. I just don't want to get this wrong because it's like a lot of details. Sorry. So instead of just going elsewhere, they just brought everybody back to the house. And I believe I was involved in that too. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that I was in that group with not John Zerka and them, but I could be, no, this was the time before. That was the second incident. Like, there's so many incidents at the house at this point that I just keep forgetting that, like, which is which. But this time, like, I'm so sorry. There's so many instances, like, I can't keep track of it at this point. It's a lot. But the first time, we all were supposed to go out for karaoke. John Zerka and them haven't arrived yet, guys. This is the future, okay? Just quote me on that, okay? So we were supposed to go out for karaoke. It was just supposed to be, like, our group of people and some close friends, but it ended up being, like, 17 or 18 people. And then they brought them all back to the house, and I was just thinking, like, it was supposed to be our close group of people going back, but they thought different. And I was awake. I was awake through pretty much the whole thing. I was on my computer playing WoW. I didn't really mind them being at the house partying because I was awake anyway. But I was mad mainly because of the HOA stuff. I was like, you guys should definitely not be fucking doing this because we're literally so close to getting kicked out that it's not worth it. Like, just random people at the house. This wasn't even Wes and them at the house. This was just, like, random people. So I went down there, and I find one individual from the house that's there. No one else. Actually, I think 2. Yeah, 2 individuals were there. I just freaked the fuck out on one of them. Like, I wasn't even yelling, shut the fuck up, it's 4 a.m. I freaked the fuck out on them. I was like, we're literally so fucking close. I was angry. I was like, you guys are getting kicked out. Like, you cannot keep doing this. You need to tell everyone to leave. Get the fuck out of the house. And I went way overboard. Like, I fucking embarrassed myself, okay? They were all looking at me like I was fucking crazy. And there are so many better ways that I could have handled that, which you just don't make me angry because I'm usually reasonable until I get angry. And I don't get angry that often. So it's like, if I'm angry, fucking game over, okay? He knows this better than anybody. He tries so hard not to piss me off because I'm like so sweet and nice to him when I'm not pissed off, but the second he pisses me off, I'm like yeah. He knows, okay? And I think I left the house that day. Yeah, they all left because I told them to get the fuck out of the house. I was like, it's fucking 4 a.m. in the morning. Get the fuck out of my house. So they left. I was like, we should not. I was trying to have a conversation with Kaylee, but she was so pissed with. Oh, sorry.
What do you do? Well, the whole point, right, is like this had happened, and like, what time was this? It was like 3 a.m. or whatever.
I just want to say that I had a conversation about it, and I apologized to her the next day.
Yeah, I mean, Izzy,
because that was wrong.
You said, and you did things that you regret.
Yeah.
You're sorry for those. You fucked up. There it is.
I mean, there's been many times that I've fucked up in the house. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I did nothing wrong. They did everything wrong. I want everything to be out there, right? So, yeah, I went to Zach's house the day after because I was like, I cannot live in a house like this. They're gonna get us kicked out. Like, I cannot live in this house. So I stayed at Zach's house for like 4 days, I think.
Alaska.
It was like 4 days or something. And I apologized to Kaylee over text message, and I also apologized to her in person when we had a house meeting. We had a house meeting the day I came back to the house. And they were like, yeah, we haven't really partied since you left. Like, we felt really bad that happened, so we wanted to just keep it chill at the house. I was like, okay. It was like 4th of July the day before, but I went to hang out with his friends instead because I've never met his friends before 4th of July. So I was like, I have to do that. Like,
my
I have
real
to do
life
that.
boomer friends. She liked them. It was okay.
Yeah, it was fun. They were really nice. I like them. I like nerds. I really do. He has like the most nerdiest IRL friends. They're great. I was like, man, there's like no fucking drama like it is on Twitch. They don't even fucking know what any of the emotes mean. They're just like, what the hell is try hard and mingly and whatever else do they use?
No,
K-Kona.
I was telling Eric, I said no memes, as I'm like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
And he got mad at me. He's like, don't you ever use that internet bullshit with me again.
I was like, this is great. I could, honestly, I was so happy. I was like, these people are great. I had a really great time that day. And, like, I didn't give a fuck if they party on July 4th. Who would? You think I'm gonna go downstairs and be like, shut up! No, of course not. I was like, whatever. You guys can party all you fucking want. You guys, some of you guys probably think that. You're like, nah, dude, she's totally fucking lying. Like, she would have ruined that party so hard.
Well, we were gonna, like, that was whenever they went to that house. Like, so...
I went on a fucking boat without everybody in the house.
Oh
like,
my
I was
God,
a total
that
bitch.
was a fucking, like, so... Okay. I don't know if we want to get on this tangent. Do we want to talk about the boat?
Yeah, let's talk about the boat.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. We gotta take, like, a 10-minute break
like
from
for just so you guys know, now we're into, like, July 4th, okay?
Yeah, it's
and
on
it's
July
like
4th.
the 17th now. So things are getting a little bit closer to being, you know, the climax of everything, right? And so basically we get invited to go on a boat ride with some other people. And my enthusiasm level for this boat ride, literally zero. But I did not want to go, but Izzy wanted to go.
I forced him to go.
Izzy
I was
wanted
like,
to
you're
go with her
doing something
friends.
on 4th of
She
July
wanted
with
to
me.
go with her friends, and I was like, you know what? She's never celebrated 4th of July.
As
No,
a true red-blooded motherfucking American.
Yeah,
That's goddamn. Yeah, you're goddamn right. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. And so anyway, celebrating the 2019th birthday of the Americas. And anyway, so this basically is what
I
happened.
finished
So
my water.
we go another one.
Yeah, I need another one.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna go
God.
downstairs and get it while you tell the story.
Okay. So anyway, so we go out and we're on this boat ride, and I don't like basically I'm not, and this is not really what I was gonna get into, right? It's not really my thing. So we go out on a boat ride, and so the boats have this thing that kind of keeps them in place. So you have like the boat, and then there's a sea level, and you put the anchor down, and the anchor makes it to where the boat doesn't just float away. But what happens if the anchor floats away? Now that's a good question, isn't it? Well, we had to answer that ourselves because we, I don't know what the fuck happened to the anchor. It just ended up, I don't know. It's not there anymore. Anchors don't float. No, they sure fucking don't. And anyway, so we lost the anchor. That was just obviously amazing. And my hair's looking like shit. So we lost the anchor. We go back to the marina, and we get another anchor, a bonus anchor. And all the time, they're on these floaties. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really get on floaties. It's just not really my thing. And anyway, so Izzy gets this floaty. It's an ostrich. I don't like ostriches. I don't have anything good to say about them. The only thing that I know about them is that they stick their head in the sand. And I don't really know that for sure either. So I finally blow up the ostrich with Izzy, and you know, she's floating around in there and she's having a great time, which means that I obviously have to have a great time with her. And so that means that I had to get on the ostrich floaty with Izzy, which, I mean, here's the thing, right? And this is a one person ostrich. This is a one person mouse.
Oh shit.
All right, and Izzy decides that now it's for two people. So I'm like, okay, all right, fuck it.
I definitely thought that we could fit two people.
Fuck it. And so then we decide, because the boat kept moving around and Izzy wanted to be out in the sun to get a tan, so we moved the boat around.
It's working great, by the way. Look at me. I got a fucking tan
in the
going.
process of moving the boat around, the floaty turns into a flippy. And I was going down there, right? I didn't want to get that wet. And then I just end up in the fucking water.
Dude, I thought I was fucking drowning because he was on top of me.
And I'm just like, I'm freaking out, right? And Izzy, so that we're getting back up on the boat. And so in the process of getting back up on the boat, I don't know how the fuck this happened, but I cut my leg all the way open. I still have some of the cuts on there.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not going to show you guys.
I was like Nurse Jackie or something.
Yeah, and there was just like blood just like dripping and just like flowing down my leg. And honestly, in retrospect, I was really disappointed because I forgot to take a picture of it. And I would have posted it on Twitter. And so, yeah, there was just blood everywhere. And honestly, the weird thing is I didn't even feel it. I didn't feel it at all.
He was so out of it.
I wasn't out of it. Well, I thought I actually hurt my arm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought
you were hurt, like you hurt your arm. That's
I thought I hurt my arm in like a serious way. And so like my leg, I didn't give a shit, right? But yeah, I just tore, like there's like blood dripping everywhere. It was like really bad. And so Izzy patched me up.
Yes, I did.
Girls are great healers.
Okay, your story's done.
Okay, so anyway, so
Ah!
that was pretty much the whole thing. That was the whole thing.
You did not have to say that.
You're a
I just
natural
want
bird.
everyone to know that I play Miss Fortune in League of Legends,
And she
I'm
plays
a
a
ret
ret paladin,
paladin
yeah.
in WoW, okay?
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time in Classic.
Yeah, I play girly characters, but they're I kill some people, okay? I was shitting on everybody in League yesterday. I just want you guys to know. Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, basically, it was okay, and then I took her and I had her meet some of my real life friends. It was a great wholesome time, and we lit off fireworks and everybody had a great time, and we all lived happily ever after. Just kidding. Now let's go to the next day after that. Izzy goes back home. Finally, after her vacation, she goes back home, and this is whenever you do the meeting, right?
Yeah, I had already decided I wanted to move out at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just don't think I'm a good fit for the house. I mean, we all know that. I should have just moved out after the 4 a.m. incident.
And that's not personal
right?
either. It's just that she
I'm not
wants to do
saying
something
they're like
else.
bad people. I'm just saying that it was obvious since the day fucking I moved in that it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought, and I was stupid to think that it was gonna work out with like everybody in the house. It was really just I don't know what I was thinking, but I moved in, so that happened. I mean, I fucking made a mistake, but it's not that I had anything against anyone at the house at that point. Like, I told them at the house meeting, I was like, I'm gonna continue vouching for you, all of you guys, with the HOA and the homeowner, and I will fight to keep you guys here, and you guys can have someone else move in. Like, Morber was considering moving in, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell the house owner I'm moving out, because in our lease it says that if someone wants to move out, they have to pay a penalty. Like, they have to sublet. You know, if you guys have subletted an apartment or something. So if I told the house owner, they'd have to go through like a background check with Morber. Like, I would have to pay money every month to move out, like extra additional money on top of what I was already paying. So I was like, I don't want to tell the homeowner because I don't want to pay any extra money for moving out. You know, no one would. So I was like, okay, let's not tell the homeowner that I'm moving out. And we also addressed, and everyone was cool with me moving out. They were like, yeah, we understand, like, we still want to be friends and hang out with you. We understand why you want to move out, right? Because we've had so many issues at the house. So it was a really good meeting. I was so happy that everyone was on the same page. We talked about like all the furniture I had bought, because I had bought the TV and the coffee table that I had paid for and nobody else did. So I was like, okay, you guys can just buy that off me and like split it between each other. That's fine. So we all came to a mutual agreement on that. And then Mitch started his stream. He was like, can I go now? I want to stream. And we're like, yeah, you can go. It's fine. We had a little bit of a back and forth talk after Mitch started his stream. He was like, can I talk about it on my stream? I'm really glad he asked me that and he didn't just talk about it on the stream, because I was like, no, you do not want to talk about it on stream, because they're just going to fucking start shit, okay? I know you guys. I see you. Yeah, you right there in chat. You're that one guy that posts on livestream fail, right? Mitch's clip. Yeah? About me moving out? Yeah, that's fucking you. You know who you are, okay? So I was like, no, let's not talk about it right now. Let's have her move in, me move out, and then we'll deal with it then, right? We don't want to make any of this like a drama. Like they're gonna speculate if we're getting kicked out, this and that, blah blah blah. It's just, it was not necessary to talk about it, right? So yeah, we agreed to that. He didn't talk about it then. We go about our day as normal. This was maybe like, I don't know, what time is it? Like 5 or 6 or something in the afternoon. And later towards the night, I go down there and we're just hanging out on the couch, just chilling. I was like, I want to watch, like, I'm asking. I literally asked, should we do something tomorrow? Like, let's go out. It's Friday tomorrow. And this was on a Thursday, by the way, okay? Thursday night. Let's get the date of that. I think it was the 11th. The 11th of July, Thursday night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So, I think so. I'm not entirely sure about the date. It's around that time. Like, I'm not going to go and, like, figure it out. But, anyway, so, I was like, if everyone's staying home, like Kaylee said she wanted to stream. She was like, I have no money. I need to stream. I was like, that's fine. Like, we all know there was only 2 people streaming at the house. I mean, you can look up everybody's VODs. There was only 2 people consistently streaming at the house. So I was like, that's a great idea, Kaylee. I was like, we probably shouldn't be partying it every night. And we all agreed we were going to have a fucking bash the next day. I was like, I'm so down to go out and party. Like, I hadn't gone out for a little bit. I was like, I'm going to dress up like a fucking hoe. I'm going to take those Instagram pics and post them, right? I told the group, I was like, we should all just dress up like hoes and post this shit online. And, yeah, so that's what was going to happen on Friday, the next day. And it was going to be on Friday night. And before I had gotten back to the house, the homeowner had been messaging me saying she's coming to the house that week. And this was when I first came back to California. So she was supposed to come to the house the day before I went back to the house. I was supposed to be there, but I wasn't there because she didn't show up. I was expecting to be there, but she didn't show up to the house on Wednesday. And she was like, sorry, the pool guy couldn't make it, so we'll have to do it tomorrow. So on Thursday, wait, was it? Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm getting the dates wrong or something, but yeah, she was supposed to come over to her house. She didn't. So she was supposed to come over the next day, Friday, I think. Was it?
What?
Honestly, no. It was definitely on Friday she was going to come back. Yeah, it was a Friday she was going to come back. So she's like, we'll come over on Friday instead. Thanks, Bunny, by the way. I appreciate the host. God, I mean, there's so many details. I can just skip to the good parts if you guys want. But basically, I wanted to watch a movie with everybody since Kaylee was streaming. Mitch wanted to do his own thing. He was going to, like, stream going out or something. And then suddenly it went from half of the house wanting to chill, and then the next minute they all want to go to the bar with Mitch because he was streaming. So I was like, okay, at least have Mitch host you or something. Like, I told Kaylee on text message and in person, I was like, I think you should probably stream, right? I mean, you just said you would, but whatever. I wasn't too mad about it. And at this point, it was already, like, really late. I mean, they left at, like, 11:30 at night. I was like, there's no way that they're not gonna come back to the house with a bunch of people. I thought it in my head. I was like, I'm moving out anyway. Fuck it. Fuck it. Who cares? I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna let them come back with all the people. They're gonna do it. I knew it. Even though we had just talked about it in the meeting, like, a couple of hours earlier. I was like, at this point, they're like listening and nodding their head during the meeting and then just breaking the rules right out after. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I watched the movie with Katie that I had invited over. 2 o'clock rolls around, and yeah, you guys know what happens at 2 o'clock if you've been watching the streams. The bars close here in Austin. Everything shuts down. After 2 o'clock, it's game over if you're downtown or anywhere, really. Like, this is throughout all of Austin, pretty much. So any bar, any club, whatever, shuts down at 2. Well, actually, some of them close at, like, 2:30, but it's rare to find those places. So I tune into Mitch's stream around, I don't know, 2:50, just to see what they're up to. They're still at the bar. They're drinking, having a good time. I'm like, all right. And they're with everybody, right? They're with John Zerka and Knut and everyone that had came to Austin because they came to the bar too. I was like, somewhere in my head I was thinking, maybe, just maybe, they will just tell them to go home and then we could all go out the next day. Because I was really excited to meet up with Knut. Like, I'd met him at BlizzCon, but we never got to hang out. So I was like, kind of looking forward to the day after. I was going to dress up like a fucking hoe. We were going to go out.
Is he still in Austin?
No, they all went home.
Oh.
And, yeah, so they, no, you guys want to guess? Do you guys think that they all split after the bar at 2? No. The answer is no. Anybody that said yes is fucking dumbass. Okay, you can go home now. Bye. Of course not. Of course not. So they bring everybody. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys watched the stream, but I watched that stream in my room, and I had Mitch watch, or no, I had Zach watch the stream for me too, and like, Zach has been very much supportive of me staying at the house. He's like, don't fight, like, it's a lot of work for you to move elsewhere, right? Like, every time I've been like, I'm moving the fuck out, he's like, just try to resolve it.
Stay at the house and just, like,
yeah,
everything's fine.
He's like, try to resolve it with them. I don't think you should jump the gun and move out so fast, right?
Yeah.
But he had come to terms that I wanted to move out finally. He was like, okay, you keep saying this. All right, it's fine. You can move out. He gave up at that point. He was like, okay, this shit keeps happening over and over again. I'm not going to deal with it. So they all come back to the house. And if you guys have seen the stream that night, you know that Mitch has been using like a boombox that people send donations to play music on, right? And I want to be clear when I tell you guys that what you hear on the stream is not what it sounds like in person. Like, it really just sounds like normal volume. Like, it doesn't sound loud on the stream. I've heard it myself through my speaker. Like, I was watching the stream on the computer with my headphones on. That shit literally blasts through the house and outside. So I just want to be clear that this speaker is very, very loud, okay? Inside and outside of the house. And I know that it seems like a good idea to have like music playing and you make a lot of money of it, but I just think that it shouldn't have been that loud. That's what I'm saying. It's like it did not need to be that loud. It didn't sound that loud on stream. It didn't need to be that loud in person either. Okay, like as long as the streamer, like the viewers are hearing it and getting like, you know, their donations worth, it doesn't need to be loud, right? So I had no intention of going down there. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in my room and play WoW, whatever. Like, we're going out tomorrow. I was like, I'll let them party it out, you know? We're going out, all of us, tomorrow. I'm not gonna make a big scene out about it. I'm not gonna go down there and on stream and be like, shut the fuck up, bitch! You know? Like, look like a fucking again on Reddit, because I was like, I'm gonna fucking end up on live stream fails again if I go downstairs, so yeah, I'm staying in my fucking room. But another person in the house got pissed too, and that person confronted them. And I was like shook. I was like, what? I'm not the bad guy? What? Like, whew, that never happens. I was like, shit. Whoa, like this literally never happened throughout the time I moved in. Like, no one else has confronted the situation before. They're all just been like completely neutral, like staying out of it. I can respect that because they want to stay friends with everyone, you know? But I'm just like not like that. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck how many viewers you have. You should see how many times I yell at this piece of shit and he has like 30k viewers, you know? Like, I don't give a fuck. So I was like, I'm staying fucking out of it because they're streaming. Like, I'm not even like... Literally, they were outside of the door. Like, I could pull up the VOD right now. I think it's muted in some parts because of the music he was blasting. But they were like, you guys ready for this? Way in the car from the bar to the drive-in to inside the house to out where the pool is. Like, he don't give a fuck anymore. He's just blasting this shit. And like, Mitch is Mitch, you guys. Alright? You don't tell Mitch what to do. He's just like, he does what he does, you know? I genuinely think that Mitch is a good guy and he's trying to just like be chill. But he's fucking Mitch. You know, that's just who he is. It's like his core personality. He doesn't give a fuck. So it's like, okay, whatever. I was still awake. I was like, okay, fine. I was watching that shit on my fucking computer, just like, we're getting kicked out. I'm sitting there, I'm like, am I supposed to vouch for these people at 10 in the morning tomorrow when the landlord's coming over? The landlord was coming over the next day. We were like, let's not party tonight and party after the landlord has left. You know, we were supposed to have a clean house. A breezy clean the kitchen for us. Literally, I don't know if Mitch wants me to tell the story. He can punch me in the face if he gets mad about it. But Mitch paid him like $100 or something to clean the kitchen because the landlord was showing up the next day. So I was like, oh god, like they're bringing people over. They're gonna make a mess in the house. Like, I was just like, I can't. How am I supposed? I was sitting in my chair. I was like, how am I supposed to defend this tomorrow? Like when they come over and like, no one else is gonna talk to the landlord. Like, let's be real. Like, I needed to talk to the landlord because they were like in constant touch with me, and I was trying to help them with the HOA, and I was going to talk to them about like what's the next step in that process because they had no clue. Like, she was trying to find a lawyer to help her, but they really didn't know what to do at that point. I mean, it's just so much. Like, there's a hearing coming up and they had a bundle of evidence to use against her, and they were probably gonna fine her at $250 after that hearing. I mean, let's be real. There's a slim chance that she would have came out on top of that, right? So I'm like, fuck, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, like, if they're doing this. So I'm letting them go on for a while, right? Like, I'm letting them, like, guys, here's a shocking news, okay? Get ready for it. You guys ready? Ready? Chat, are you ready? Yes or no? Who's ready? Who is ready right now?
I'm ready.
Here's the shocking news. The shocking news. I let this party happen. Okay? I let them stay up all fucking night till the fucking morning to party. And they didn't stop at 2 a.m. No, they didn't stop at 4 a.m. Okay? They stopped the party after 7 a.m. in the morning. On a Friday morning.
That was a Sunday morning.
And, no. On the stream, there's so many parties that I can't even keep track of these at this point. Like, he can't even keep track of that. I try to tell him this shit, and he's just like, wait, which one was it? Like, there's just so many at this point that it's just,
that was
you
the
can't.
other party that went until the morning.
That every party goes till the morning. They're just like different hours of the day, you know?
Yeah, we used to do the same shit.
So it was Friday morning because I remember Mitch said, but it's Friday. And everyone's like, no, Mitch. That was Thursday. Now it's Friday morning. And he's like, what? Like, he's so drunk. He just doesn't fucking... It's weird. But I didn't care that they came home and party. I was gonna let them party. I had no intention of going down there and giving a fuck, right? But here's what bothered me. Is the fact that Kaylee said on stream... when asked about me, like Mitch's entire chat were just spamming like really nasty shit about me. Like, they were calling me a bitch, like Monka S in chat, Pink is gonna shoot up the place. Like, they were just spamming like really nasty stuff in his channel. And I'm just like surprised that the VOD is still up at this point. I mean, I feel like he should probably leave it up, but it's just like bad stuff in chat, like just bad mouthing me. They were bad mouthing another person in the house too. It was really disappointing, but that's not what made me mad. What made me mad was that Kaylee and Mitch, during the stream, said, when asked about me staying in the house.
It wasn't Mitch.
Maybe it wasn't. It was definitely Kaylee.
It wasn't Mitch.
It was Kaylee. She said, yeah, I don't want to say it's Mitch unless, yeah, I'm sorry. She said, I don't give a fuck anymore. She's moving out anyway. And she said it in a way that was like really, what's the word?
Resentful?
Resentful and like...
Dismissive?
Yeah, just every, it just... It made my heart sink because I'd gone out of my... Condescending. Yeah, that's condescending. And it made me sad because we were all supposed to go out the next evening together. We had talked about it. We were so excited. And the landlord was still coming over at 10 in the morning that very same day to talk to us in the house. And they were up till 7:30 in the morning. So, yeah, that was really disappointing. And I'm not gonna lie, I did message the landlord, and I have not lied about messaging the landlord at any point, because I did message the landlord. I did. Like, you guys don't have to say that she made it up. Like, I did message the landlord, and I said, I want to move out because they're just leaving trash everywhere. And I worded it wrong because I said they're trashing the house, and I don't want to make an excuse that English is my third language, but what I meant by that was like the house is dirty, not they're damaging the house. I wanted to move out without having
she
to
didn't
pay
want to
the
be held
sublet.
liable for
Yeah,
this
I
shit,
did not.
right?
I did
mean,
not want to be held liable for
that's the
any
thing, is,
damages
like,
they caused.
Everybody wants to be like, oh, snitching or whatever. Listen, man, I don't know how many episodes of The Wire you've watched in your safe suburb with your mom's, blanket over you, making sure that nothing bad happens in your gated community. But the fact of the matter is, you're gonna criticize somebody for being a snitch. I'd have done the same motherfucking goddamn thing.
Yeah.
If somebody fucks me and they fuck me over and over, and it's getting fucked, and you're just getting fucked, and you're just getting fucked, and then you know you're gonna get evicted. This is a fact. I mean, the wheels are already in motion, the machine is running, and the time is running out. And it's like, at a certain point, I just want to get myself the fuck out of this without having everybody else bring me down. Like, she has money invested in this, and she was fucking pissed. Like, I'd have done the same goddamn motherfucking thing, and I can bet you guys, you high road Andys in chat, that you'd have done the same fucking thing too. Every fucking time. Every time you would. And anybody that wouldn't do that is a bitch.
You just let somebody bend you over and fuck you in the ass all day, and then you don't do anything about it. Like, obviously it's a little bit different, but that's why you don't treat people that way.
Yeah. It's just, it's really disappointing because, like, I genuinely did want the house to work out. I think everyone in the house wanted the house to work out. I don't think when you ask any one of the people living there, they would say anything else but that. And in the morning, obviously, no one was awake when they came over. They rang the doorbell. I was like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not talking with them. I'll let the rest of them deal with it and make their lies about the house or whatever the hell they want to say, you know. But I was like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with it. I'm staying in my room. I had planned on moving out like a week later. And actually, no, I hadn't. I was going to stay the month there because I had paid rent and utilities, which was like, I think I paid like a bit over like 1,000-ish something at that point. So I was like, no, I want to stay in the house for another, like the whole remainder of the month because I paid for it. And it wouldn't be fair for her to move in and like take over my spot for free, right? So I was like, I want to stay until like the next month whenever she moves in. You guys didn't split the bill? We did. The rent was $6,000-ish, and then we had utilities up our ass. Like, it cost $700 a month for just electricity in the house. So it was really expensive to live there. It's a large house, so yeah. And what's funny about that actually is like we had 2 lines of internet, and no one streamed on their PC. Like we had this discussion on Discord like several times. We're like, how are we supposed to stream all of us when we only have 1 line? So we got 2 lines because we were expecting everyone to stream in the house on their PCs. It's like, what? It's just, I feel bad for the guys that got those lines. I think it was like Tiff and Jay, maybe. No, I think it was just Tiff that got those lines. She was so fun. Oh, I feel bad for her. Anyway. Yeah, nobody streamed in the house, but yeah, so no one answered the door. I don't know what happened. They kind of went away, I guess. I was like, thank God, I'm going back to sleep. Like, I don't even think anybody really heard that someone was at the door, probably, but they knew they were supposed to show up at 10. You think they were going to wake by 10 when they party until 7 in the morning? No fucking way. Come on, guys. So yeah, I was like, fuck it. I don't care. They come back later and they send me a text message. No, I think Dustin answered the door, actually. And then he came up to my room. I was like, hey, they want to talk to you. Probably because of the message I sent them. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I really fucking shouldn't have sent that message, guys. Like, I really shouldn't. I know every single fucker of you would have done the same fucking thing. Alright? Don't say you wouldn't. But I shouldn't have. Because it was gonna play out the way I had wanted it anyway. Like, because they were getting kicked out no matter what. So me messaging didn't really matter. So I had like I ended up finally going downstairs and talking to the friend of the house owner, because he spoke English, and he was like a really, really close friend with the owner, so he was going to talk to her. I just told him like my concerns, and my concerns were that I didn't want to be held responsible for any damage they caused to the house, and we still had 10 months to go, you know, like, sure, it wasn't damaged in the beginning. For most part, there was a couple of few things here and there, like very small things, but 10 months is a long time. And like, if they keep inviting people over, one of those fuckers are gonna fuck the house up. Like, they're gonna break a window. I don't fucking know what they would do, but I mean, you just simply cannot keep inviting like random people over to the house and not expect them to like do some fucked up thing. So I told him that I was concerned about being held accountable for that, because I wanted my fucking money back. I was like, I put in $900 for, you know, what's it called? The deposit. So it's like, I don't want to be like the one in that group of people, because it's, and I also like, I told them about the people who haven't really been involved in that either. So, no, the $1,000 is rent plus utilities, and the $900 is just the rent. Like, I'm not making this shit up, guys. Like, you can ask anyone in the house. It's $900 in deposit, $900 plus over $100 for utilities per month. So that's that. And what was I gonna say? I also was concerned about the fact that I was in the lease. I was like, I don't really want to be in the lease if I'm moving out, because that could fuck me over. Like, I told her straight up, I told him straight up, I was like, I don't want to be held accountable, and I don't want to pay the sublet fee if I have to move out and find a replacement. And he understood. He was like, that's fine. Like, they've been really understandable. I legit thought that they were going to be like, no. Because they wanted money, right? Like, monthly rent. But he was, like, fine with it. And he said he was going to talk to the landlord. And, like, I was very angry the day before. But when I talked to him, it was, like, fine, because he had already looked at the house, and I explained to him that like it wasn't that I was saying it was damaged, like it was just like the way I worded it sounded like that, and I shouldn't have said that, but what's done is done, and that was that. We left. He went back to wherever. He said, you guys should have a house meeting to talk about this and see what you want to do. And he told me that the house owner was already planning on selling the house, like just kicking us out and selling the house. He also said the hearing's coming up and they have all this like evidence compiled, and she's most likely going to have to pay $250. So I was like, okay, I feel like the two only options we have is move out by August 1st after the meeting, or pay the price. You know, because those seem to be the only options at that point. So I went back in. Me, another person, and Zach went to go look at apartments together, because there's just not me that wanted to move out at that point. There were several people, and so we did that, and then we come back, and Kaylee is pissed because I messaged the landlord. And I can understand why she would be upset, but at the same time, it's like, I was upset. Like, I feel like I should be the one that's upset, because she straight up just went into defense mode, and I wasn't about to have that conversation with her, because I wanted to be civil about it, but she felt like I had sabotaged the house and, like, sold them out. I was like, sure, maybe I shouldn't have messaged the landlord, but I explained over and over and over again that you guys sabotage the house. Like, I got mad at her.
Well, they sabotaged the house by breaking the rules of the lease, the rules of the HOA, and the rules of the city.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's like, what pissed me off, because that's what she said to me, and that made me angry during that. So we argued. Mitch, I know Mitch is a good guy, but he had her back probably because they're close friends, and he also thought I sabotaged the house. But it's like, I don't genuinely think
Mitch never saw the paperwork.
I don't think
he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I honestly believe that after he saw everything, he was like, yeah.
Well, that's what he said today on his stream.
Yeah, he said,
he's like,
I really respect that he said that on his stream. Like, yeah, we were getting fucking kicked out. Like, I really hope that me and Mitch can just remain neutral after this, for sure. Like, I would have wanted this for everybody in the house, too. Like, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. Like, it was wrong for me to message the house owner, but we were getting the fucking kicked out anyway. So it's like, it's over. I mean, it's over now. Like, it's over and done. Like, everything has kicked off already. So yeah, after that, we just kind of went our separate ways, and I went into my room, and I was like, I'm not going out tonight. Like, me and Kaylee had, like, just had a big argument, and I just didn't want to talk to her because she was saying I was sabotaging the house and all this stuff, and I'm just like, no, you guys did this yourself. Like, she just wouldn't listen. But this is what happens when people are angry, you know? And, like, I don't hold this against her either, because she did 2 streams, and the first one was awful. She was upset. She was talking a lot of, like, bull crap on her stream. But the second stream, at least she was calm and, like, actually, you know, making sense, right? So this is just how people are when they're upset. I don't think anybody is in their right senses when they are upset. So she was upset, and I was upset, and I just stayed in my room and played WoW with Katie all night. And I let them party that night too, because they went out to 6th Street. Knut and Zerka were banned for God knows what. I haven't seen the clips, but if anyone wants to, you know, hit me up in private and send those to me, I would like to see that. Spill the tea. But yeah, so they went out, and they got separated or something. There's like tons of people around. They just couldn't like figure shit out. So Tiff and Jay came home early. You having fun? You want to do that here? You want to lay in my lap?
No.
Are you a good boy?
Am I? Am I a good boy?
Is he a good boy, Chad? He's a good boy! Yeah! Ooh. Yeah.
Well, who's saying no?
Yeah, what the fuck, guys? Like,
what?
Guys, they literally say, like, we all know Twitch chat, they're gonna fucking high road, they're just gonna say no to whatever.
What the fuck? Well, so that's basically the whole story, right, Izzy? I mean...
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not really the full story.
Well, like, what did we miss?
It ended after that. Like, after that, they went out, partied all night. Like, they came home. I was still sleeping at the house, by the way. Like, this was the day after they had just partied on a Thursday, and they went out on a Friday. I was like, all right, it's Friday. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I already was petty enough to talk to the house owner. But it was clear to me that they had just stopped caring about the fact that I still had, like, almost, I don't know, 2 weeks left at the house, right? Because we had decided I was going to stay at the house for 2 weeks because I paid rent. They just didn't give a fuck about it anymore. And they came home and partied, and I was like, okay, whatever, like, just going to let them party. I played WoW with Katie pretty much all night that night. But then I was ready to go to sleep, and they were still partying. It was like, I just gave up on sleep. I was like, I mean, it was running to the point where it's like 8 in the morning. I was like, okay, I'm definitely not sleeping tonight. It's not happening. But then I managed to lay down, and like, I did fall asleep that night for like I don't know, an hour. And I woke up to this, like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is there some shit happening out there? Like, down there? I thought it was Dustin blasting his TV, because that's usually what he does. But this was, like, louder than what Dustin does. Because, like, I could hear it, and I woke up from it. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, did they fall asleep during a movie again? So I go down there, expecting them all to be asleep. Because it's 10 in the morning. Like, they've been up all night. It's like, I don't really give a fuck if you're up all night, but can you please not, like, at least turn down the TV? So I was like, you guys are fucking crazy. I told Mitch. He was like, what? I'm like, you guys are crazy. And I'm like, can you turn down the TV? And he's like, looking around. He's like, I don't know where the remote is. I'm like, because they had been losing the remote, like, literally every fucking day. Like, I don't think I ever knew where the remote was in that house. So I'm like, I can't fucking sleep. Like, you guys are partying all night. I'm letting that shit happen. But, like, it's 10 in the fucking morning. Shut the fuck up, Mitch! It's 10 in the morning! And I just pulled the fucking plug on that shit. I'm just like, I'm going to fucking sleep. And I was petty as fuck. I was like, I'm so over this. We went back and forth a little bit, and then it starts popping off. It starts popping the fuck off. Like, I never wanted to fight with Mitch. Honestly, I wanted to fight with Mitch the least out of the house, because he's such a sweetheart behind closed doors. He's always been nice to me ever since I first talked to him, like, whenever he's not streaming and being a total fucking papega. But it's like, we're going at each other because he still thinks that I sabotaged that. I genuinely think he doesn't think this at this point. Like, I really do. I hope so. But he genuinely thought that I had sabotaged the house. And I was trying so hard to tell him that wasn't the case. And he kind of went back and forth about, like, random shit. And then he told me to get the fuck out of the house. Like, I don't remember every single thing we talked about. I'm sure maybe he remembers some of it. But he told me to get the fuck out of the house if you're gonna be like this every day. I was like, I paid fucking rent. Do you want to pay me for the remainder? Like, if you pay me right now, I will fucking get out of the house. Like, I was so angry. I was literally shouting like that. I was like, if you pay me right now, I would fucking leave. Because it cost me money to move, like, this last minute. I paid rent. I paid the utilities. I'm not leaving this fucking house unless you pay me. And he's like, yeah, I'll pay you if you fucking leave now. So I'm like, okay, where's my money? I'm like, you can fucking PayPal it to me. I don't care. I never wanted to have this fight with Mitch, like, ever. I didn't think this was gonna happen at all. We had never fought before in the house, ever. So it was just kind of sad that happened. And he wanted to see the text messages that I had sent to the house owner. And I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't think that would have helped me at all. Because I genuinely thought that they were gonna, like, expose me everywhere. And, like, even make me worse. Like, just go on Twitch and, like, tell everybody that I was sabotaging them. Tell everybody that I was responsible for getting them evicted. Because that's what they were telling me in real life. I was like, I really don't believe that they're not going to say this on stream, because they're just being, like, really, really hostile towards me, right? And so I go up into my room, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Mitch comes up maybe 10 minutes later. He's got the money in cash. He's like, show me the fucking messages and you get this money. I'm like, no, like, I need to make sure that you guys aren't gonna fucking expose me all over Twitter and shit and, like, pretend like I was the one responsible for everything that happened in the house. I was like, I had no evidence to show that wasn't gonna happen. I mean, have you seen what happened last time he lived with people? You know what I mean? I was like, no. I don't think so. But, yeah, so we went back and forth a bit, like, it's just, like, so much was said there that it was a lot. And he came back in later without Kaylee, and he talked to me like normal, but it didn't really go anywhere. So I eventually just kicked him out of my room, picked up my stuff. Like, he actually handed me the money, and I was like, I'm still not telling you unless you like I didn't trust that he wasn't. He was like, I don't even need to see the message anymore, and just handed me the money and then left. And I was like, okay. But then he came back later again. He was like, can I see the messages now? I was like, I don't have any proof that you're not going to say anything still. And so I handed him back the money. He refused to take it. And we just went back and forth again. He left, and I was like so over it at that point. I was like, I'm not staying in this house another day. So I just picked up some shit, and I left the house. And I left my money outside of the door. I texted both of them. I was like, you can take your fucking money. Like, I don't want it anymore. It's like $450. I was like, just take it. I just want to be out of the house.
Is that the money that I got?
Yeah. So I left the house.
So I wasn't supposed to take it?
I thought Mitch had given you the money.
I thought the money was...
I asked you, did Mitch give you this? And you were like, yeah.
I said no.
No.
Well, I assume, well, so, okay.
He took the money when he went there. They didn't take the money. They left the money outside of my door. It's been there for days. I haven't been back to the house for days.
Well, no.
I swear to God, I got the fucking receipts on my phone. I left the money outside of my door. He just yoinks that shit.
Well, so, there's a stack of 20s, and, like, she told me that there was some altercation with Mitch and the money.
Uh-huh.
So I see that, and I don't touch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna just grab a stack of money in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
So I wait until I talk to Kaylee, and I ask Kaylee, is this the money? I'm like, what's the money for? And she's like, oh, well, Mitch was gonna give that to Izzy or something like that. And I'm like, okay, and so I just took the money. Like, that's really it. I never talked to Mitch about it at all, honestly.
It seemed like he didn't want the money back after what happened either. I mean...
Well, I never talked to him about it at all.
Here's the thing, right? I gave back that money assuming that they were going to expose me for showing them the messages. I was like, I mean, look what happened. They exposed me on fucking everywhere saying I got them evicted and I sabotaged the home.
It's not they.
It's one person, but...
Like, let's be real.
It wasn't Mitch. It wasn't Mitch. I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't even be saying, like, he was not involved in that whatsoever. That's between me and Kaylee. But I had been more concerned that he was going to leak that stuff. I didn't think she was going to do it. Because we had talked, and he was like, you're not going to report me to Twitch, right? I was like, no, I'm not going to report you to Twitch. So I figured we had, like, a mutual understanding that he wasn't going to expose me all over the place and lie about the situation. And he didn't. And I'm proud of him.
He didn't do that. And the thing is,
yeah,
like, they had all agreed to not make this public at all.
Talk about this.
Until, let's be honest, Kaylee went live and talked about it. That's what happened. And like, I mean, this isn't like me exposing anybody or anything. This is literally just this is the chain of events.
Yeah, and it's like, it wasn't just like telling the whole story like I am. It's literally, the title was Spilling the Tea, and then just saying I sabotaged the house and I got them evicted. Like,
well, she shouldn't have gone live and talked all that shit.
Right? I had
and said
no
all that
intention
shit
of going live.
because like Mitch didn't want that to be public, Dustin didn't want that to be public, Izzy obviously didn't want that to be public, Jay and Tiff, I'm like 99% sure did not want this to be public. Nobody wanted this to be public at all. And obviously people are going to speculate, etc.
The reasoning that she had, which I honestly, this is just my opinion, but I don't think that's true, is that I refused to talk to her in person.
Which, so the obvious response to that, the obvious response to you not wanting to talk to her privately, is to go live in front of thousands of people and air your dirty laundry.
But I want to explain why I didn't want to talk to her. Is because I was upset and I needed time to cool off. Like, I wanted like 3 days for them to hopefully like think about things. I told her in text message, I was like, we can't talk about this in person, because every time I try to resolve things with you, you start yelling and getting angry, and then it turns into a fucking fight. I was like, I think you should think about this for a few days. And I said that I was willing to talk to her, but not right now. I said, let me check what I said. I want to make sure I read it right. Actually, I don't even think I have the conversation with her anymore. I might have deleted it or blocked her or something. Yeah, I did. Oopsie. Well, I said, I'll let you know. I will consider it, because I hadn't been considering ever talking to her again after that. I was like, I'm done ever talking to her after that fight we had several times. And I'm not gonna say details about Kaylee, because I'm gonna be honest, it would make her look very bad, and I just don't want to cause any more drama than already is, right? So it was very hard to talk to her face to face. She's so sweet in text message. She was very apologetic in the text messages. I felt really good that was the case, because I was willing to talk to her after that. If she hadn't been so apologetic to me, I would have never considered talking to her. But she was very apologetic, and I said I will consider talking to her soon. Not right now. Like, I need space. I think any reasonable person in this situation would need space, because this is just, like, so fucked up. I don't think it's a good idea to talk the day after. I really don't. Like, is it...
Like, Izzy was fucking mad, okay?
I was angry, and I was like, I don't want to talk about this right now. Like,
okay,
I want to talk about it some other time.
That's really...
All right, I'm sorry. I have a hard time getting to the point. Like, Zach is just, like, resident sleeper in my fucking chat. He's literally just like, get to the fucking point, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, when are you gonna do the dance?
You're sleeping in that bed tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're gonna sleep up here too, then?
No, I'm sleeping downstairs.
What?
What do you mean? He's sleeping in this bed tonight.
Yeah, right. It's a futon. I can't sleep in here. Yeah, exactly.
He loves to annoy me, you guys. Like, he does this all the time.
Sometimes she'll ask
and
me
he
to do
knows that I'm not gonna actually get yelled, like, mad and yell at him, so he just keeps doing it every fucking day.
Sometimes she'll ask me to do a very simple task,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll make it take longer intentionally to annoy her.
He loves annoying me. Anyway, so I was totally willing to talk to her, and I'd message her. I was like, okay, I'll consider it. Like let's have this conversation. I didn't specifically say, let's have this conversation in a few days for me to cool off in the situation, to just, like, move past, right? And just, like, think about things and stuff. But, I mean, I don't know how else I could have said it, because obviously that pissed her off, because I didn't want to talk to her in person after trying to resolve it several times. And the same night, she decides to go live and just, like...
I was asleep. I was literally fucking asleep. It's 2 a.m, and I'm like this. Like, actually, I'm actually
we
like
were
this.
cuddling in bed. We had such a good...
No, you had gone downstairs.
Oh, I went to the bathroom. I went downstairs to go to sleep.
I was fucking passing out up here.
Mm-hmm.
And you get up, and you're like, wake up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. What did I do now? Oh, shit. And, then she's like, you watching Kaylee's stream? I'm like, no, she's talking about me right now. Then we spent the next 4 fucking hours talking about this, like, dealing with this, like, 2 days ago, right? And then finally I was like,
I told her to turn off the stream, like, multiple times while she was streaming. I was like, you don't deal with this, like, publicly. Like, why?
Because that's what you guys had agreed on.
We had agreed on this. Like, I just feel like she just, like, fucked me over really hard. I'm being really honest. Like, and it was so unnecessary. And I know that she said that she felt it was unnecessary too, and
that's great.
It's
after
just
the
like
fact.
It's after the fact, like, she had just had, like, a 3-hour exposure stream of me, and I just felt like I should taken the fucking money. I was laying in bed. I was like,
well, you did, remember? I got you the money.
Yeah, he got
You're
me the
gonna
money
buy me
today,
do
like
you wanna walk down to the
4
store in a
days
bit?
after.
You gonna buy me a drink
Or
at the
whatever.
store?
Huh?
You gonna buy me a drink at the store?
But right now?
No, not right now. We're streaming afterwards.
Yeah, we'll walk to the store after this. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I was just like, turn off the stream. Like, you guys were getting evicted anyway because she was just straight up lying in chat. Like, I know she was angry, and it's just don't do that. I'm just making excuses for her at this point. And I had no intention to make a stream. And not even after the day, I had no intention of streaming.
One thing, if we have mods, any personal insult to Kaylee, can we just time those out, Izzy? Because, like, we obviously don't want to have that in there. And the thing is, like, any personal complaint or, like, argument or whatever that we've had, or that she's had with her, I mean, let's make sure that this stays between the two of them, because that's the way it should have been. And, like, regardless of this, let's be honest, everybody made mistakes, shit went wrong, but I don't want this to turn into being, you know, this person's a piece of shit, so if anybody's saying anything, you know, actually, like, genuinely rude to her, that could be hurtful. I think that we should time that out.
I think so too. Obviously, I mean, I feel like the chat has actually been kind of nice, so I appreciate the people that have been, and I really suggest that we keep it that way. Like, that was the intention for the stream. Thanks! You apologize! Good. Alright. So, let's just be nice and civilized and, you know, just finish the conversation. And obviously, like, the rest is history. Like, I don't feel like there's anything more to be said.
Well, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, like, we literally just had, like, almost a 4-hour stream.
Okay, alright, now.
So it's like, we're gonna answer questions for the next 10 minutes, me and Zach, and then we're gonna walk down to the store, because he wants to drink.
Yeah.
So, I'm probably gonna get a snack, too. I literally only had 3 hot dogs today. And I don't even have any appetite anymore. Like, I'm not even hungry. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm usually, like, stuffing myself with food. Anybody want to explain why that is happening to me? Like, I've just been, like, not eating at all. I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, let's talk about some... Dude, I'm
Someone
stressed
asked,
out the butthole.
have you been gymming?
Gymming?
Yeah. Going to the
Dude,
gym.
I need to fucking go to the gym. Like, the HOA refused to give us the keys to the gym in the neighborhood. And I haven't worked out for like 2 months, okay? So, yeah. It hasn't been going great. It really hasn't. Nah, guys, I'm fucking pregnant. I'm announcing it right now. Yeah. I did work out Sunday. I'm just fucking with you guys. I did work out Sunday, and I had a killer fucking soreness the next day. So, now seriously, I'm on my fucking period. So, there's that.
I had to buy her tampons today.
Can you not? Come on.
You made me do that.
I just redeemed you, and you fucking.
It's
that?
It's natural.
Are you? Guys, it's natural, okay?
Yeah, why get embarrassed?
You've all had mothers, right? Birds and bees. Some of you may have girlfriends.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
No, smiley face.
Okay. Did you buy her some chocolate yet?
Listen, guys, everyone has a poof when they're leaning over, okay? If you don't, you're sucking that shit in, alright? Stop lying to yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the rest of this?
Okay, we're gonna answer questions for like 6 remaining minutes, so go ahead and ask those.
Alright.
Wait, hold on. Let me mute this stream to say something like private.
Do that.
Okay.
You should do that for real.
Yeah. So should I just tell them that?
No, do it at the end.
Okay.
Tell them at the end.
Okay. So should I tell them that at the end?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I need sometimes I need his advice.
Someone says this drama is boring. Season finale is trash.
Dude, this
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but maybe you'd feel differently if you didn't try to live your life vicariously through streamers and made friends of your own. Or hey, I mean, let's be honest. Just wait till somebody else starts some bullshit and you'll get attached to that. What a fucking loser. Let's go to the next one.
Okay. Issue with Emiya. I don't have
There's no
a problem
reason to
with
get into
Emiya.
that.
I don't. I
Oh,
really don't.
you're good with her now? Okay, that's good.
I'm not friends with her, but
You're
I'm
neutral.
not mad at her either.
Okay,
So.
that's cool.
Did you learn the lesson? Yeah, I've learned to never move in with streamers again. So there's that.
Spicy chicken. Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a chicken nugget stream whenever they come
I
out.
do hope that me and Kaylee can talk again at some point when she's.
It's just gonna take some time for you guys to
Yeah,
kind of.
but I just don't think that we can ever be friends again because like things were said that just. I don't know. I don't know at this point. Like you can ask me again in a month. Like
When's the next Girl Talk podcast?
Oh shit. Yeah, honestly, I was so busy with everything else that I just did not have time to do a podcast whatsoever.
Can Barry be in the next house?
I'm sure they need more people for the next house, maybe, yeah.
You
You
never
could
know.
ask them. I'm not going to be part of the house, so.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Me or you?
They said.
Both!
What? Oh wow. Okay. It's not that funny.
It's really fucking funny.
Okay.
That's really fucking funny.
Okay.
That's funny. Where do I see myself? Well, so, besides being miserable in the house, not like, you know, making me not want to stream, I want to, like, have streaming as, like, a hobby, but I also want to pursue fitness, like, a lot. And I've been meaning to try to start a business doing that, and, like, posting more Instagram stuff and, like, YouTube things. So that's what I'm planning on doing right now. And just maybe streaming sometimes with, like, World of Warcraft or, I don't know, IRL
I'll try to
stuff.
get her to do different stuff, guys.
But yeah, I've been trying to do fitness stuff for, like, a little over a year now. So that's my plan. I've done
Sparky
several fitness
Fitness.
streams. Actually, if you guys are OGs in my channel, I have done several fitness streams on my channel. It's just... I maybe will do them again. You may be seeing a fitness stream on my channel soon, so stay tuned for that. But I will certainly post workout videos on my Instagram because all you guys know that that's the fucking jam. And that's what I will be doing because I'm a fucking sellout.
When are you gonna start selling bathwater?
Coming soon. Actually,
So
this
will they
is
if you
so
start selling
stupid.
it.
Like, I just want to tell you guys
Oh, you
real
didn't even
quick.
get the
Have you
joke.
guys
What the
seen-
fuck?
No, have you guys seen the OnlyFans shit? Like, everyone's jumping on board. I was even considering today after one of my close friends, she was like, I made $1,200 in 12 hours of starting this shit. I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
So
Get the camera right now. Like, I was genuinely considering that shit. I'm sure she wouldn't mind, but I'm not gonna say who it was. But
everybody knows. I mean, like OnlyFans is like that's where you sell like nudes, right?
no, you don't.
Wait, is it
There's no
no nudity?
I don't know if you could, but I know that most people don't. So if that's what you guys are You guys are fucking stupid if you're paying for, like, Patreon and OnlyFans expecting nudes. You guys are getting so fucking debated. Oh, God. That's fucking funny.
True.
Y'all stupid. Anyway. Yeah, so... Any last questions? Oh, we'll do one more minute question.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Zach are moving in together pretty soon, in a couple of months, actually.
Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna be looking.
We'll see.
Well, no, I mean like we're gonna be looking at some houses and figuring out what we're gonna do.
Yeah, he really wants to invest in property
Yeah.
because property is booming in Austin right now. So he wants to get a house and not an apartment, for example.
Yeah, we just gotta get one close to my mom, you know.
Yeah. I have a
Let's-
couple of different things of where I want to live. Like, I've had 4 people offer me a place to stay, so I think my bets are pretty much on moving in with Katie right now because she has a spare extra room for me to stay at, so that's most likely what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
When is the wedding? I'll let you know. I'll probably be streaming on twitch.tv for that.
What? What's the other question?
He's so embarrassed right now. I'm just looking at you in the screen right now, just monitoring your facial expressions.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that right?
Any second now, he's gonna be like, like when I'm not looking, I'll be looking in the chat, and he's just like,
Yeah.
like, yeah. Anyway, all right, we're gonna go ahead and run some ads, and then
I've been teaching her this. This is wait. No.
Stay tuned. Should I have told him to wait?
Type 1 in chat if you can hear this.
Yeah, and if you're I'm sorry, Zach. What were you trying to say?
Is he?
They're all fucking watching anyway.
No, they're not watching because the 1 means they can hear us even though you're running an ad.
Really?
Yeah, we'll wait for it to finish and then I'll talk to them. Okay.
Okay, fine. Oops. Look, it's
Okay, guys, welcome
it's
back.
a learning in process.
Welcome back. I've been trying to teach her how to be a better sellout, and it's a process. It's
that
not.
was a 30-second ad,
it's-
not a 3
yeah,
one
I
like
know.
you do.
She's not doing that well.
He does 3 minutes of ads at the end of his stream. I just did a 30-second one.
Yeah, and you should have done 3 minutes. And like, so this is what you need to do because you can only run an ad every 8 minutes or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So you want to really just kind of milk it. So you every 8 minutes, well, at the end of the stream, you run 3 minutes of ads because honestly, let's be real. Like, I mean, this story that you were telling them, I mean, like half the chat probably fell asleep, right? So
What?
I mean, they're gonna leave the stream on. They're gonna leave the stream on, and they're gonna get the ad 100%. They're not gonna leave. So
Are you serious right now?
it's been a while, Izzy. It's over. It's past midnight. Think about how nice it would be falling asleep to pink sparkles. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice?
I'm so conflicted right now.
Isn't
Like,
that nice?
he's roasting me, but he's also like complimenting me. I don't know what's going on here.
That's right.
Okay, can we go? I have to pee really bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I really want to say I did not. Let's be honest. I kind of thought that there would be like a big turnout. I guess because y'all fucking idiots loved this drama. Okay, let's be honest. You all stayed here throughout 4 fucking hours because you have nothing better to do than to watch this drama shit. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry that there wasn't more drama.
Sorry, it wasn't anything like really
Like,
juicy. I
yeah.
mean, like the only thing that was like you.
Oh, I was supposed to show them the letter.
No, I thought don't do it.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Alright.
I thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of got carried away, so I guess I'd
That's fine.
do it. Nah, it's not worth it, guys. It's not.
No,
He's
there's no
right.
reason to. So let's see. Is there? Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything. You're gonna go ahead and use the bathroom. We're gonna go to the store, and that's good, right?
Yeah. Anyway, I really do appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will not be going back to full-time streaming. I'll just tell you that. Like, just because I moved out of the house, I'm not going to be streaming full-time. I am completely committed to doing, like, fitness stuff right now. I'm planning on taking a break from pretty much everything to pursue that. I want to try to get a job and, like, be an actual member of society on, like, a stupid-ass whatever,
just say me.
Pepega.
Just say, I'm right here. I mean, come on.
So, yeah, so that's what I'm
She'll be
planning.
back and forth. I'll try to convince her
Yeah,
to stream regularly as much as possible, but I mean, like, most of the time it's probably just going to be us doing things together.
Yeah, honestly, he's pretty much my content right now whenever I do stream, like, once a month, so expect some more of that probably, you know, in a couple of weeks maybe, and hopefully I never have to do this again. I genuinely hope I don't have to do anything and I can just relax and fucking retire in peace and not deal with anything. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you all for staying and supporting my stream. And for any of you guys that watched an ad, thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna